goes. I'm going to switch over to here. I'm going to turn the audio back on, which is what I screwed up last time. And it is
Good.
live. Wonderful.
Please
All
put the
right.
camera down.
Do we
Got
have
a camera
everybody's
on?
audio going?
That, like I said, that was what I screwed up last time. I know what I screwed up, so I did look at that. I still trying to salvage whatever I can out of the last game session, but yeah, yes, Fred. And you're
Thank
not
you.
even putting it in the right spot. There you go.
There we go. Now we
I'll
can
just hold
see
this
your-
here the entire game.
I'm surprised you didn't actually make it your Twitch image. You still have that old image up there of well, you have Resik up there as your old image. And actually, I just remembered I have to show the two of you. I have to show what, the new tip I picked up at the vape shop because I'm kind of proud of it. You probably can't see it for Jack though.
the new for your vape.
Petrified wood.
Nice.
Yeah. I was like looking at it going, what's this one? Oh, it's petrified wood. Pull it out of the case now. It's mine. You want to look at any of the other ones? No.
Not today, my good man. I'm feeling saucy.
Are any of the other ones petrified wood? No. Then shut up. And give me my strawberry dragon drool. Alrighty.
Salty. Very salty.
I know the camera doesn't pick it up at all, but it looks really cool. Trust me. My wife looked at it and went, that's great. I don't know. Shut up. So.
Oh, yeah, there you go, Fred. Go with that one.
Is that a bag?
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it's
is.
a bag.
He found a new toy. This is the same person that was playing with his camera phone for about, I don't know, 2 weeks, just constantly taking pictures of it when he first got his smartphone. Then he was out in the parking lot when a car started on fire. And he didn't take any pictures.
Well, what's the use of having it then?
It was new.
He just got done playing with it for 2 weeks and annoying everyone. And it was annoying.
You mean like
No
now?
pictures or no video of the burning car. Which might have been good because the insurance company did argue with the owner of the car after a while. It seems
We're not going to talk too much about that right now because no idea what the thing for that is.
what? The car?
No, the how long it'll be before they'll turn around and say, "Yeah, no, we want our money back."
Oh,
now."
yeah, statute of limitations.
Yeah.
It would
that's the
actually
word.
it would actually require them to see this. So,
You don't know. They might.
there's always a possibility.
No,
Anyways,
no.
for anybody who watches now or later, yes, we did take actually a 2 week. We took extra 2 weeks because I was not able to actually attend anything. The wifey wanted to drag me out to go do something for the birthday.
As a
And
result, every single one of the players are jonesing.
yeah, everybody's jonesing. I'm jonesing for Fred's game, and I most likely won't be able to show up for that one either. Fortunately, I'm pretty sure my parents don't watch this, but it's because me and the other brothers are plotting against them. So, I'm pretty sure they don't watch this because I haven't gotten any emails going, what the hell is all this? Yes, Fred, put it away,
This
please.
is madness. That is the best definition of what this is.
Now, since I didn't actually put up the old video anyways, Fred, please stop playing with the damn thing. It's getting annoying.
But there's a swashbuckling pirate one in here.
Share it with the crew off stream. I'm trying to actually explain everything for anybody who watches it like I'm supposed to. And if they ever do. Our crew of Sable Skies did actually escape the wheel, finally. My bad for having such a long, stupid grind. I kind of expected it to be shorter. It really wasn't. But they are escaping. They managed to get into the ship. They managed to fly. They managed to power it up. They managed to tilt over and make two guys that were standing on top of it fall off.
Because they were stupid.
Well, one guy was just really pissed off. I mean, he took his parking spot.
I don't
Like
care.
an hour
First come,
or two
first
ago.
served.
Wah.
Hey, if you've ever been around the Schaumburg Woodfield Mall, you know people actually get a little bit stupid when it comes to parking spots.
First come, first served. We were there. They weren't.
Of course,
Move your
Well,
shit,
technically,
move your
I'm the
spot.
pilot, so
well, you were the pilot at the time, yeah. But I think actually Harlem and Irving Plaza, I think, is actually even worse parking. But
These freighters are like the size of small buildings. So basically, you've got somebody that's going to climb on top of a small building and try and damage it with a wrench.
he was pissed off. What do you expect?
so just GM ruling here. If I would have say piloted this ship and just flew it straight up and creamed the guy into the ceiling of the wheel, would I have gotten a dark side point?
You would have also damaged the ship.
Yeah, and you would have also gotten 4 people around you really ticked off for damaging the 3 really ticked off for damaging a brand new ship.
One in particular.
I'm a good pilot. I could probably do it with minor scratches.
No.
No, what you do is you just levitate up and you go straight towards the opening. And if they're still on the ship when it crosses that oxygen barrier, if they get sucked into the vacuum, it's not your fault. They
Well,
were
that one's
stupid.
true. That one's true. But they're not.
They wouldn't be sucked into it. They'd be flung off into it at high speed as their blood boiled in their goddamn bodies. And maybe let's not do that.
They pretty much all the ships pretty much rock a little bit when they take off.
Hey, I warned them. I said, if you're still on there when we take off, oh well.
Yeah, no, that's perfectly fine. I mean, he got injured. He looks like he got hurt, but literally, he was crazy on top of your ship, just banging on it with something heavy. So
Not my fault.
What
Not-
happened in your day?
Not
that
really
it-
gonna-
It
yeah.
would result in you, after a parking spot got stolen, to climb on top of it, which is like, what, 2 stories up, and start wailing on it for over an hour.
what draws these people to drive through the doors of Target? Because
Glitter
they're
stamp.
mad.
The deals.
But they're doing it because they're mad. If it's for the deals, they trample over the employees. And that's usually at Walmart.
He
What?
took some glitter stem, and that's what happened.
It could be. I mean, it was the wheel. Now,
Come on, Spice.
Then he should have been able to read our minds and know that we were mad.
He was probably more focused on trying to hit our ship.
but it only works on the weak-minded, though. You guys aren't really that weak-minded. I don't think any of you have a perception roll that's lower than 3D, I think.
Me,
You do?
I think my perception's 2.
Oh, okay.
Look, you know how in D&D you've got a dump stat? Right? He couldn't come to a decision on which stat was his dump stat, so he went, punch! Everything else, hell with it.
He was really,
No.
he's really good at it. I don't know why you guys are actually saying he's a shit brawler. He's actually really good at it. Every time he hits
Yes.
something,
He's
it
a
falls
very good
down.
brawler, but he's a very good brawler, but brawlers are not supposed to come from Mandalore. They're supposed
not?
to come from someplace else.
No,
Because
Mandalore, they can,
Mandalorians are supposed
He
to
can
have
fly
the
a ship good.
jetpacks and the
He can
flying
flip good.
and the guns and the
They have
proton missile off his back. And
blades, martial arts,
Dexterity and perception are my dump stats. They're both at 2.
Look, I hit things with a big glowy blade. I still have a dodge skill.
Yeah. Anyways, we're waiting on Brian right now. He's actually out washing a car. Hopefully it's a car, not a truck. That's just my opinion. Trucks don't need washings. But for
need
right
hosing.
here, what's that?
They need
hosing.
hosing.
They just need to be set outside in the rain. And drive through. To get the undercarriage, you drive through the really deep puddles quickly.
yeah,
That covers everything.
well, unless it's winter and there's all the salt saline everything everywhere, then it doesn't really get it very well.
Well, that's why I do it in the springtime when there's really deep puddles in like April and May. I pound it through a bunch of puddles and it pretty much rinses it off. I say this, but yeah, I still was able to keep a truck for almost 20 years before the one I have right now. So, even with those opinions, my truck was running fine until it just went no.
Until it wasn't.
Yeah, until it stopped, which is my goal. You drive the vehicle until it just doesn't go anywhere, and then you turn it in for recycling material.
That's your new character image now. You got to put that up and leave it there.
What was it? An elephant?
Stuffed elephant.
Stuffed elephant? Okay. Warning on one of the major things. I am going to try and actually do this at 3.5 hours today, because I want to give the wifey a little bit of time, because she's got an early shift for the next few weeks in a new set of training. Yay! Which means more money when she's done with training. Yay! Which I don't really care, because now we have 2 incomes in the house. I have no idea what to do with myself with the money. Yay!
And you use it to buy wood.
I do. And I used it to buy a heater for the garage.
So that you can work on the wood you bought.
Yeah. And I'm going to actually use it to buy a savings account.
So that you can store up and get more wood.
Buy more expensive wood, yeah. So anyways.
Clamps. So many clamps.
Clamps. So anyways, let me actually pick this up from where we left off there. And at least I do have one of the people that I do majorly want there. Brian. I want Brian, but this is more focused on... it has been that long. Names of characters. Damn you, Corhas.
Oh,
So this is what happens. This is what happens when I do all that research. I think I did more research on that article than I ever did for
Curly.
any homework assignment back in high school or college class. I did more research on that than any of that stuff. So it was kind of ugly. And it probably was longer than any report that I gave either, because even if they said 5 pages, I gave them like 1.5 pages and said, "That's all there is, lady." Did I pass?
No.
No, I
haven't even
did.
had a chance to read it over yet.
I passed my classes in high school after an extra semester. But we have the sable skies flying out of the wheel. The nice space station in the middle of I believe it was called... I have to remind. The Desh Gordon system, actually. The Besh Gordon system. I'm bringing this up.
Gordon?
Besh. B-E-S-H. System. It's coming out of the wheel. On its way out. You do not get stopped by anything. You don't see any TIE fighters flying dead at you like, you do in the movies. There's no sentry ships because they don't know who you are at this particular moment. But off to the side, you do see the Victory-class Star Destroyer hanging around the wheel pretty closely.
Yeah, we already got by this.
Off to the starboard, and of course, your instincts, Naw-Tor, is to go left.
I think they'll have trouble finding parking.
Because of this big-ass Star Destroyer.
Hey,
As you go...
There's a free spot.
As you go left, and start flying away, I'm going to just assume you're starting with the hyperspace calculations there, Naw-Tor? Okay.
Yeah.
You're going to start that. And remember, this was to go from Besh Gordon to Rendili system. A little bit of ways away, a little bit outside the Rendili system, a little bit outside the Rendili star drive facilities. And when I say a little bit away, like way out of the traffic for what they would have.
Don't go there. Go someplace else first.
That's exactly what was the plan. Now, I would like to have... I'm going to say Corha.
Uh-huh.
Give me a perception roll.
Already done. 13.
13? Actually, within your perception range, do you have... I'm trying to think. Do you have investigation, which might be under that at all? No?
No, I don't.
Okay. We'll just go with the perception. While you're calculating the jump and such like that, over the comms, which do automatically turn on when the Empire says, we would like to communicate with you.
Fly casual.
As you're flying
Fly very
casually,
casual.
Freighter, please slow down for scanning. And your systems and your sensors and this passive scans, you got 2 TIE fighters just coming up towards you. They're going at roughly a little bit above half speed, which is, I believe, faster than you at full speed. But they still...
I'm going to look up the stats of our ship here in a sec. So
I believe it was 4.
Yeah, our space is over there, so yeah, they're gonna overtake us.
They basically are coming up there. I can't remember
They
the
turn.
I can't remember. Nova Star Drive. That was what it was. Nova. What was that? Was Nova Star Drive ship?
Yeah,
Sounds like-
Nova.
Nova Star Drive freighter, please slow down to cruising and prepare for a simple scan.
Okay, and I start reducing speed.
I'm the pilot, not you.
You're the pilot, I'm the co-pilot.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's smarter to do this and let them scan us because they're not going to find anything. You can't really do a machine scan for the Force.
That's true.
Tell you what, don't slow down just yet. Give me like
I don't know.
30
Those
seconds.
midichlorians.
Give you 30
because I have a
seconds?
plan. I am going to go running back, I'm going to grab the key to the smuggling compartments.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to grab Resik and Newt, and they're going into one of the compartments.
Newt has no problem with being... Oh, thank you. Nova Star Drive 3Z. That was what it was.
All they did was scroll up.
Shut up.
I'm just going to say, you guys need to hide now.
No, Newt looks over at the bin and goes, no sweat. Just jumps right in, slides right in, tucks in, and is able to easily get in there. Resik, on the other hand, he's a bit big. I don't
Make it fast,
know
Corha. We got to start slowing down.
if, as an example, have you seen the newest Jason Bourne movie called
No, I
Jason
haven't
Bourne?
yet.
Matt Damon is pretty big now because he's put a little bit of weight on top of the muscles, so he even looks bigger. That's what the jumpsuit's pretty much hiding inside of Resik.
So I'm going to have to get the pan packer out and like packing down in there.
Put him in one of the other.
Kind
We've
of.
got some oil and butter in the kitchen.
Kind of. You get
Do
him
the
on.
old,
You're
do the
gonna.
old Daffy Duck. Go, go, go. Down, down, down. Mine.
You're gonna need to actually have a couple people stand on the plate before it can lock into place.
Oh, this sounds comfortable.
Oh,
as hell.
hey, I know.
It
Have my
wasn't.
droid go push it down.
I am one with the Force. The Force is with me.
Yeah. Exhale.
Suck it in, Resik.
Suck it in, Resik. Well, the droid is a floating droid, but either way, it needs weight, so you can just sit the droid on top of it and then stand on it.
This lifting wouldn't allow it to push something down. Never
It's
mind.
kind of like the wrong direction, and it doesn't reach.
Don't you have hover sleds? Just put one over and turn it off.
It's like if the droid could reach above in the ceiling and then in the floor at the same time, it can push, and that I would actually say the lifting would easily be. But I don't think that droid is big enough for that. But don't worry about it too much. You just get everybody on it, and it just kind of put the magnets in place, and you can basically get them in there.
For the love
Resik,
of hibernation trance.
Resik, do me a favor. Let me know. Do you have anything that would possibly slow any use of air?
I just said hibernation trance.
Okay. What were the difficulties on it?
I think I have to be missing half my head for it to not work.
Yeah, I know. Shush.
I'm looking it up though. It's one
Okay.
of like the starting things.
I know. While he's doing that, and while you're stomping down on the deck plating to close the hidden compartment, Corha, there's something that just nags at your head about that dude that was on the ship. There was the two dudes on the ship, and why the hell they were so freaking out. Well, maybe the one was freaking out, and what the other guy was doing. There's just something irking at you. Anyways, what do you got there, Fred?
Okay.
Looking up the difficulties, how much the numbers are, but
I think it's moderate, but
it is difficult.
oh, is
Which is a
it?
20, yeah. It's a
Yes.
difficult roll.
Yes, it
16 to
is.
20.
But he's rolling 20 dice, so he's fine.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not 20 dice.
It's only 18.
15
It's only like 10.
Yeah, it's
only.
I'm sorry. I'm tweaking that rule for the difficulty level, especially with hibernation trance being one of the primary.
Yeah, but you usually go into it
Prerequisite
without having
powers.
to be like threatened. It's like, okay, everything's cool. I'm going away.
Yeah, you're not able to use if in a situation like this, you can't use calm.
Well, that's a 6.
And concentration's
Yeah, there we go.
really not that great. No, concentration ain't going to be there either. Because he's also dual tasking, trying to inhale and exhale all the space from his body at the same time, and shove himself in between pipes.
I got a very difficult taken care of.
Yeah,
so.
I know you're going to handle it, no problem. And he goes out, and Newt really doesn't have a problem with it because she's a smaller person. She's basically, River Tam, except taller. She's just a little bit taller than River Tam. Both of them knowing Wei Fu. At which point,
She
basically,
has it on her sheet as an advanced skill.
yeah. While a few of you are jumping on up and down on the plate, which is crushing Resik, we'll deal with the
Hell of a
damage.
rescue!
We'll deal with the damage he might have taken with that later. Whoever's actually in the cockpit still probably. I would figure the Naw-Tor because he's probably the skinniest, being bone. Everybody jumping up and down. You slow down the ship a little bit to let the ships come over the TIE fighters come over the ship.
Important thing to ask.
Yes.
I do a very quick scan on the surface of the ship. Did they attach anything to it?
You will need a. The sensors roll, but the problem is the sensors aren't geared towards the skin at
Sensing
this
themselves.
moment.
Security, maybe?
No, security wouldn't
No,
actually
it'd
handle
have
that.
to be sensors.
It would be
There we go.
sensors, but the sensors aren't geared towards pointing down yet. And to do that right, you
Hey,
would
I'm in my
wanna-
happy place. I can't.
You can't help. And you'd also want to. The entire ship's surface would need to be scanned in to compare it as well.
Oh, well, it was worth a shot.
So could I send my droid out to like crawl along the surface of the ship at all?
Are you going to do that while the TIE fighters are scanning the ship?
It's a small enough droid.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Okay. Fine.
So I'm gonna throw the droid out and let
Wait
it try and
until we're
take a
done
look.
with this.
Oh damn! Think it'll catch up eventually?
One of your droids? You're not
Your
throwing my
droid.
droid.
One of these days, I got to figure out how to mute Resik when he's in hibernation. trance.
You only have one working droid right now.
Yeah. Yeah, the other droid that's actually up on the ship, which is R2 junk pile. It works. Kinda. The ships do actually go over and take a nice slow scan. Both of them actually kind of going over, looping around, scanning from underneath as well. Is there anything else you guys are going to do while they're scanning?
Be casual.
Calculate our jump away from where we're supposed to be going.
Where would you like me to take us?
Anywhere.
The
Not
outer edges of the Rendili system, please, and then we will figure stuff out from there.
Okay.
pirate jump. Come on.
Well, it's pretty much the location where you guys were going to go is in the outer edges of the Rendili system, anyways. So you're gonna go straight there.
Oh, then if that's where we're supposed to go, no.
Okay.
Just give us a random jump out of system.
Yeah, pirate jump.
Yeah.
Something
Do you want me
safe.
to roll?
Yeah, roll it.
Micro jump outside of the system here, and then we'll check the hull, and then we will make our jump to Rendili.
And I think no. For a second I thought Bird Dog was actually up and running. I thought I saw him.
He's messaged, but he's
No.
not on yet.
41.
You are able to plot a nice micro jump. The ships, the TIE fighters, do one more scan around the edges to cross back over again, to go back away from you the opposite direction to your stern. On the way past, the comm comes back up. Basically, Nova Drive's... I can't remember the number. Nova Drive 3Z. Thank you. You are free to continue. Thank you, citizen. Have a lovely day.
You're welcome. Thank you for being concerned about us, Empire.
Kiss my ass, Empire.
And they continue to go off full speed to stern. Go back to the wheel and the Star Destroyer.
Oh, thank fucking God for the Force.
And to hyperspace we go.
Okay. You start in your hyperspace jump in your pirate jump. Now, as fitting with the cinematic system of the D6, we have a little bit of a cinematic scene to describe to you.
Oh, okay.
We are back, and I'm going to, if you're in the map thing, I'm going to actually just kind of bring up the starbase, the escape starport that you guys were in to begin with a few moments previous. Let me just zoom it over to where you left the lovely and talented D-Bag, wounded without a leg.
And no lightsaber.
And no lightsaber.
Yeah.
He is literally groaning, trying to crawl himself over to where the lifts are. His out of character, his control pane is going on and off as he fails his concentration for the fact that he is literally missing a limb.
Point of order.
Yeah,
One of the stormtroopers grabbed him and was dragging him off.
I know. He's
So
trying
he's not
to.
crawling in place.
He's trying to claw his way back because
Okay.
the stormtrooper let him go. The stormtrooper is, even through the armor, just looks completely defeated. He is just deflated entirely. His shoulders are down, they're kind of hunched. His helmet is drooped down. He reaches up.
We killed his buddies. I mean,
No, he didn't kill all of them. He actually stunned most of them. Stunned or wounded, most of them.
We greased a few of them. Though.
Yeah, you greased a few of them.
there's 5, and I killed 4, and so that's
Yeah.
9.
No, there was mortally wounded, there was incapacitated, there was stunned, there was all a mixture. He kind of takes a few more steps, looks down at the Inquisitor, slowly removes his helmet, and underneath the helmet is the familiar face of what were the old clone troopers, except aged an extra 10 years.
So it looks
follow.
like Rex from Clone Wars.
Yeah, kind of looks like Rex from Clone Wars. Except a little thinner because Rex gained even more weight. These guys still fit into their armor. He drops the helmet right next to the Inquisitor, as the Inquisitor is still trying to claw his way over to the lift pad. Another one of the stormtroopers gets up, walks over to his buddy, and also takes his helmet off, and it's another one of the clones. The initial clone with a weird hairdo, you can just imagine weird striped hairdo, because they all seem to like to do weird hairdos at the time. One completely bald, one still with the weird hairdo. The one that's bald looks over at the one with the weird hairdo. We're done. Let's just get the rest of our brothers and leave. It's over. We're done. The
Okay.
one with the hair still, I will give you 10 minutes. But I have to stay. One without the hair, you will then be the last in the service. Alone. You sure? The one without the hair. It's all I know. That's what I'm for.
Could always go and join the rebels.
The one with the hair still does actually just shake his arm, grabs his arm, which then turns into a slight hug. And he turns and
one of
walks
those
away.
one-armed
Yeah.
man hugs.
Yeah. And he turns to walk away and starts going over to some of his brethren. Which he does find which ones are dead. Which ones are still alive and can be treated, or just flat out stunned. Gets them up on their feet, and as a group, they begin stripping the armor off, grabbing whatever resources they have right there. Maybe a couple pieces of cargo that were lying around, maybe a little bit of sundries, but they just walk off. The Inquisitor does actually crawl his way to the lift on his own. The one last remaining clone trooper in the service of the Empire walks up to him. And instead of waiting for him to hit the button, does hit the buttons for the lift himself, puts his helmet back on and back into place, and lifts the Inquisitor up to stand on his one remaining foot and carries him to the shuttle that will lead them back into the Star Destroyer. The wounded, lovely wounded Inquisitor that seems to have been missing part of his face is now missing a leg. He kind of expanded his hit list a little bit. He is extremely pissed off, but
gosh, how could I tell that?
I put it to you this way on the one thing. He's not going to be the worst part of his day. Newt cutting his leg off is not the worst part of his day.
Because now he has to go talk to the Emperor.
Yeah.
Or Vader.
Vader, because he's actually running those. He's going to have to return to Vader, explain the situation, explain that he lost all the remaining clones, and only has the one left over. And we'll see what happens to him next time as we go back into the ship.
Isn't Vader's 501st Legion all clones?
Not in mine. Because I still go by the fact that the clones really did have a short lifespan. They had an artificially short lifespan, which was not in Boba Fett, but he was still affected by the same issue, just at a normal rate of speed and lifespan. Something I can't remember. I think it was something to do with his liver or kidneys. I don't know. But we go back into your ship.
Degenerative clone syndrome?
Yeah, the degenerative clone syndrome. I can't remember what it affected. I think it was the liver, though.
Never mind, I'm in a crate.
Right, you're in a crate. Shut up. Your jump into hyperspace. How long into this? How long did you want this jump to be?
It doesn't have to be too long.
Let's say 2 hours to get very far out, and then we can turn and do another one to a different location, and
Okay.
then go back to CC Beta.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna go.
Or another Dilly system.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Rendilly.
Or whatever.
Okay.
Basically,
Well.
2 hours out, another 2 hours in a different direction, and then however long it takes to get where we're going.
Okay. Now you go as a couple of hours. Anything you're doing on that 2 hours, except for maybe possibly letting Newt and Resik out of the hole.
Yeah, as soon as we're in hyperspace,
Okay.
I'll pop them out.
I want to fix that computer that I screwed.
It's gonna take a little bit longer than the 2 hours.
And also,
Save that
once
for
we're,
later.
once we're out of hyperspace, somebody's going to have to do a quick spacewalk to make sure that
That's why.
as Blue Hair said, we need to make sure that we don't have anything attached to us.
Yeah, because that
Let's
does.
do
I
that when we
volunteer.
get to our first.
Yeah,
Let's do
let's.
that when we get to our first drop-off point, our first stop point.
So we've got a person that doesn't need a vac suit. So hey, it works for me.
It helps if you got a rebreather, which there's a couple of breath masks over by the door, just a couple, and it helps. You don't really need it because I think you can survive a couple hours out there without actually having any issues.
I can survive a full day.
Yeah, it helps. It makes it more comfortable, and why not? But yeah, it's easy to go out there and do that. You let Resik out of there and Newt out of there. Resik, do me a favor, and I don't remember if you needed. I think you needed a roll to get out of the hibernation.
Nope, that was emptiness.
Okay, that was emptiness. So you can wake up from the hibernation anytime you need. You unlock the plate, and it just goes boom, as the pressure from his body has now pushed it back up again. Resik is not fat. Let's just get that straight. He's not fat. He's
Might as well
big.
be.
But he kind of looks a little chubby because he's got that big old jumpsuit on that don't fit. Naw-Tor, you get outside. And yeah, mention back to Corha again. It's just the fact, those two that were on the ship, on top of the ship, it's just the factor that one of them was literally just banging onto the top of the ship, thinking he can actually break something with a pipe. And the other one standing there, perfectly calm, watching him and watching you guys, and just standing there, not even saying hi, not reacting, just sup.
What did he do when I took a pot shot in their direction?
He
Still
just ducked out of the way. He just ducked
Okay.
out of the way. When the ship took off, he fell off, but, ungracefully as usual, as you would expect. But while everybody's yelling and screaming and a couple pot shots, he ducked out of the way, obviously. But he was just pretty much going, yeah, I'm up here. Search. Give me a search roll there, Naw-Tor. And let's see.
How did they get up on top of the ship anyway? Was there a crew ladder or something that they used? Okay.
Yeah, they could use. There was a crew ladder of sorts, easily, or in some cases, some cats can actually use the ramp, grasp onto part of the beam or the door, then grab onto something else and literally climb up the ship. It's not the smoothest thing in the world. Wow.
So
I'm back to being shitty rolls. All right, guys.
Quick
Aerodynamics
question.
mean nothing in spaceflight.
instead of doing a search roll, could I do a space transport repair to see if I can find something that's off with the ship?
Nope. Gotta be search.
I have a 6.
Really? Oh yeah, your
I told you I have 2D perception.
That's right. Your perception's 2D. You don't find anything out of the ordinary. Everything looks right. Give me a. You know what? Let me get a space transport repair roll just in case. Because he was banging on the top of the ship, you might as well take a look around that area.
Where'd everyone go?
Well, there's somebody by you, Resik, because somebody had to unlock the latches to let you out. And it goes funk. Just to make sure, just to spite, I think they did it in cross sections, so that in no way, shape, or form is it actually going to release the plate a little bit until that you were down to one left. Not like, it goes like this. It's just it's there because it's angled, so it all has to go at one time. So you've been crushed as long as possible.
19.
Understandable.
You do find the area that he was banging on. He was actually banging on one of the coolant lines. Doesn't look like he did any real damage, but he did actually mark it up.
Probably if you flattened him.
If you care about it, it would take, being in dock to replace the line. Or you can use one of those really cool kits where you use like weird glue and a clamp and it's like a suction cup maneuver to like pull the dent out, But for right now, it looks perfectly fine, just marred up a bit with a dent. But you don't actually see any tracking systems, no tracking devices, nothing. Nothing implanted or attached.
Well, that's good.
Note to self: upgrade search next.
Hey, that's meta. Technically, it's meta.
Technically, you can do it after this game because you used it.
Yeah.
By 1 pip.
By 1 pip, yeah. Yay, 2D plus 1.
Yeah, pip's a pip.
I know, every pip counts. That's kind of a weird phrase, but I think we're going to actually somehow coin that to the D6 system. Every pip counts.
Can I do another search roll just to make sure?
Sure.
Right now.
I am going to raise difficulty, though.
If a pip is wasted, I get quite irate.
14.
14. Nope. Nothing out of the ordinary. It's perfectly fine. Just that crappy pipe. Although I think a couple of the guys inside the ship might be a little ticked off because now their ship has a scratch.
No,
it's a scratch. I'll probably do worse to it the longer I have it.
I don't know how everybody would consider scratches. I know how my wife considers scratches on her car, and
so I go back to the airlock and open it up.
Okay.
And I didn't see anything up there except that one of our pipes is kind of screwed. We may want to consider fixing that. It's for the coolant to the ship, so I could try to do a jury rig solution, but you guys didn't like it the last time I did that. So
No. You just go worry about flying. I'll worry about this.
Corha, this is your job,
Okay, so while we're sitting here trying to figure out next move and whatnot, I'm gonna start going through and doing like diagnostics on the systems.
Okay. Give me the ship repair on that one.
And just whenever I've got some time, I'll fiddle with this wrist thing that I've got on me.
Yeah. What was it? What was it? The roll?
15.
15? thus far, everything looks tip-top. Still looks brand new. Looks like you might be due for a fluid change at some point because it literally is brand new. You want to kick out a couple extra little, like, pieces of metal that might have been on the systems, like a brand new car does. Everything looks good. He mentioned the coolant line, but doesn't look like there's any restrictions in it at all with the dent.
And everything's just green. And from our little trip, nothing spiked or dropped or.
The skid plates might actually need a little bit of buffing because you guys did come in a little bit hard, but no, everything's good.
Yeah.
You were stealing a parking space. I mean, come on, you're gonna drag the skids a little bit,
I think, if I remember correctly, I rolled fairly well when we did that.
Yeah, you did. That's why, no damage to anything, and the guy didn't rear-end you in the process.
Like I said, we'll thank Elwood for that parking job.
Yeah. It kind of also reminded me of this police academy one, too. You should park cars for a living, sir. Except Elwood did a better job. All right, now, you're sitting there dead in space, middle of nowhere, 2 hours hyperspace away from the wheel. What's the next move? A second blind jump or pirate jump? Or to the Rendili?
Yeah, we were doing it. We were doing two pirate jumps.
Pirate boogie.
So the first one we searched. The second one is just to cover our ass.
Pirate boogie it is! We're going to have to get Naw-Tor a microphone, a separate kind of microphone.
Yeah, a headset at least. God, that's loud.
You roll loud dice.
Well, I don't have my D6s with me, so I'm using D12s.
Well, see, there's a dice roller app that you can get.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, but that hates me.
Yeah, I actually kind of like dice. So
38?
38. Not a problem. How long you want to be in hyperspace?
2 hours.
2 hours again.
Yeah.
Another 2 hour jump into hyperspace. Another 2 hours of anything going on. What? Anybody doing anything during those 2 hours except relaxing? Yes.
Yes, I am parked at the engineering station, watching everything like a hawk.
As I've been crammed into a small little space for something like several hours, I then...
Not even an hour. As soon as we
Maybe
popped
about-
into hyperspace,
It was about at the most. The scans were at the most 10 minutes. At the
Doesn't
most.
even matter. 10 minutes of crammed into something smaller than you could actually fully inhale.
Yeah. Newt's easy. Newt had no problem. Newt's used to it. She fell asleep.
I'm gonna travel over the entire ship.
Okay. You're gonna start
My
inspecting.
mind open.
You're gonna start inspecting the ship, and physically and visually, or just with the Force,
Well, both.
or all three. Okay.
Just sort of wander around and get used to what the place is, but use the
Okay.
Force to sort
So you
of
have
listen for things.
you have a.
Specific skill in mind.
All right, you have to tell me what the skill is and what you're rolling, but.
Electronic sense.
Okay, cool. Give you a hint. Now you at this particular time for the crew of the Starry Skies, you have the Sable Skies. I'm sorry. You have the Jedi Resik Jinzler wandering around the ship, touching things. When you open the compartment for Newt, you find her asleep. It's up to you guys if you want to actually wake her up, but it is kind of weird that you easily shoved her into the compartment and she just fell asleep in the compartment like it was the most comfortable thing in the universe. Which is weird because these are not like the compartments that you might be thinking about. These are like they're insets. There's pipes still going through them. It's mostly for loose cargo, not even for big cargo like the ones on the Falcon. It's not meant for people at all. and she just went straight to sleep. Resik's poking around at everything, being all snoopy. You're in the engineering area. Rezik, give me...
If he walks by me
Yeah.
and he's touching things, and just glance and say, touch not, lest ye be touched inappropriately.
It will happen. Once he's wandering around, you will get to the engineering area that you're describing. And he will be touching a few things. Not tools necessarily, but
I'm
consoles.
more referring me.
but consoles, things here and there.
I thought the range was a lot
No,
smaller on this thing.
I'm running it as also by narrative speak as well. I'm not letting Resik do that power just by sitting there and just going ohm.
No,
because
there's
it's a
lots
ship.
of mechanical things on a ship.
Yeah. Is there anything specific with, that power that you're looking for?
I care about three things:
Yeah.
explosives, transmitters, and recordings.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I have some explosives on me.
Yep.
Are they active?
No.
That's the only time it would work.
Oh.
Would
Can't
No.
detect.
Well, they're
can't
just-
detect a machine that's powered off.
Well, they're grenades. I mean, they're frag grenades. I mean,
Yeah.
they
The
have-
stun. I think actually I have both. Never mind.
yeah, you guys have both stun and frag grenades on you. You're gonna pick
It's
up
just-
the energy signatures from explosives on those.
Well, it's in electronic sense, so it's something that's
know.
active.
I know,
It has to have a charge running through it.
right? And they're all battery powered at this point. They're not like the
I
old
can't detect
school.
energy sources.
They-
I can just detect
You're
something
picking
that has
them up.
circuits.
Shut up! You're
Yeah.
picking them up. Stop
Sure.
arguing with me, God, people.
Including the things I could find.
I'm giving you the ability to see them. Shush. Bloody rules lawyers when they don't need to be.
Yeah.
Knock it off, Fred. Okay. Explosives, you do see those. You don't see anything other than your standard frag and stun grenades. Transmitters, you do see transmitters. You do feel transmitters on the ship. Your kind of standard array of your antennas and communication devices that are on the ship. I don't even remember if you guys ever picked up or have on your sheets communicators or comms.
Yes. We do.
Um,
I do, at least.
On the ship, they might be turned off, but they might also be turned on because it's easier than walking to the other side of the ship. And for
Intercom.
some reason, intercoms on ships are wired headsets. I'm thinking back to the
Don't
turrets.
get cocky, kid.
Yeah, exactly. So they might be turned on, they might not be turned on, transmitter-wise. You have the transmitters on the outside of the ship. You have the transmitter that actually transmits the transponder code all the time. That is always going. But pretty much, yeah, you do have some transmissions coming from the ship. That was transmissions, that was explosives, and there was one more.
Sensor, like recording.
Recordings. The only thing recording is the ship itself. Doing the standard short-term memory for
These are our internal readings.
internal readings, a super passive scan. The automatic scan that basically lets you know if you look over at the scan thing that a gigantic ship just appeared out of nowhere behind you because you don't have a view screen there.
Or, hey, just to let you all know, there's no air in the compartments. You've all
Right.
been exposed to vacuum.
The kind of standard scans, and everything is recorded at least for a short period of time. You can choose to keep that and store it, but it's always going to be there, at least a short period of time. Kind of like one of those, it's kind of like the drive cameras in cars that you get to see on YouTube when they all crash into people. You got a backup camera and a forward-facing camera, and you got a camera at the inside for, when you're picking up people who called for an Uber. You have with the transmissions. So you had the. I mean, I'm just trying to make sure I got all the transmitters right. The standard communications transmitter, which is not active. There's a transponder from the engine. It looks like there's another what seems to be like a pirate transponder, like maybe a spoof.
You fake your codes.
Yeah, maybe, kinda somewhere.
Did we do that? I didn't think we had a fake transponder code added
Shush
yet.
you!
No, I asked for it, and he
Shush
managed
you.
to find.
You don't know yet.
What?
He has. He does. Not you. I think that's about it, really.
We were
Yeah.
talking
Conrad
in
vehicle.
Flare.
Well, it's Conrad vehicle. I would expect there to be a fake transponder someplace.
Well, he knows about it. You guys don't know about it because you haven't found anything like that yet. That's why I'm saying it. And he hasn't told you really about it.
Okay, fine. Not going to be that way about it.
I have to.
I'm assuming you all know about it already.
Pretty much. That's kind of like
What are
the
you
way.
doing? I'm going to go do something.
That's kind of the way Resik would actually expect it from it. He's poking
Why are
around
you
and
showing your ass
stuff.
to millions of people?
You do actually. Of course, the cat's going to do that. The cats do that all the time. I don't know why. You do actually inevitably find Resik touching consoles. At which point, like you said, touch not.
Oh no,
be touched.
I'm sitting watching the engineering console, and if he's coming around touching things, like if he gets close to me, I'm gonna put the finger up at him and say that.
Close is a relative term. It's close enough because still the engineering areas are tight. But it's close enough to actually trigger that. At which point I would assume Resik kind of gives you space. Do you, Resik?
I just crawl over her and no, yes, I give space.
Okay. So that's that was during the 2 hours, right?
Yeah.
You want to do anything else going on in that 2 hours?
Did we have armor in the ship armory madness or no?
No. In the armory, it's able to have more in it. Not by much, but it's a minor armory. It's just got 2 rifles and 2 pistols in it. At least that's what it started with. I believe somebody snagged one or. Yeah, I think one of them was snagged. One of the pistols. But all it had was the 2 rifles and 2 pistols. And they were blaster pistol, not heavy blaster pistols. They were just the 4D. The rifles were the 5D. All the rifles seem to have the same basic stats at 5D damage, so whichever one needs to actually fit into that.
So then once that 2 hours is up, I'll follow the plan and send us to the Rendili. Well, not to where we're supposed to go.
Okay. Give me an investigation roll.
Is this quieter?
Yeah.
No.
Well, it is, technically. Yeah.
Looks like there's a free cabin. I'm gonna go take a shower.
And Resik snags one of the booths for sonic showers and
5, 7. $31.
okay. With that, this is when I actually. Oh, nice.
Look up the rules on plotting amazingly good hyperspace stuff.
You're gonna hopefully need it, actually. Oh, that was a 5. That was not a 1. That was a 5.
Don't lie to yourself. It was a 1.
I'm using kind of a
comes to mind right now.
I'm using kind of a random shave for this jump because of your extra special mathematics skills. And when I say random shave, it's more along the lines of I roll a single D6. That tells me how many dice of hours you're able to shave off this trip. I say it this way because there's a lot of hours to go from the wheel to Rendili. Besh to Rendili in a ×2 hyperdrive is 374 hours.
Oh my god. That's what.
By the time I get back to Rendili, do I have that computer fixed?
By the time you actually factor in Rendili, or by the time you get to Rendili?
To wherever we're supposed to go.
It's only
You
a
should
little
have.
over 2 weeks.
You have plenty of time to work on it. We can see if you do actually get it working again. But as you start plotting up the jump, basically, the jump from one place to the other is 374 hours.
15.58 days.
Uh-huh. And, to be fair, I did use the Holocron hyperdrive. Astrogation
That's not
computer.
2 weeks. That's 3 weeks in Star Wars.
It's 3 weeks in Star Wars because weeks were like 5 or 6 days. But fortunately, the die that I rolled for shaving because of your mathematics rolled a 6. So I rolled 6 dice to shave off your hours, and I got 29. So we're going to shave 29 hours off the trip, which is at least a couple days. Well, 1 day.
That's 1 day.
So 374 minus 29, you're in that for hyperspace for a while.
We lost a day.
You gained a day? Are the consumables going to cover the trip?
We've got
Got 2
a few
weeks.
months worth, don't we?
Yeah,
At least a month or two, yeah. Okay.
We've got 2 months
we got
worth of
2 months.
consumables. Although we should definitely restock.
Soon, yeah. All right. You have then the 14 days in the ship to travel to Rendili. At which point I'm going to say, what is the first actions for a lot of you? Now, let me address... Because after a couple of hours of hyperspace jumps, after the second jump, after you guys finish... Well, after you guys start the jump to Rendili, Newt does actually wake up. She gets up. She quietly looks around the ship, not the consoles and junk that Resik was looking at, but the bunks, the cabins, and such like that. And finds one that is pretty much, if I remember correctly, there's at least one cabin that doesn't have anybody in it.
and if there is, she can bunk with me.
Yeah. She kind of goes in, snagging the bag that, snagging the small duffel bag that she had brought with her, puts it in there, kind of sets a few things up, takes her the robe off, and pretty much loosens up some of her clothing so that she can actually be a little bit more comfortable. She kind of put everything away, and she's basically just, doing her shower thing too as well, because she did go through a battle and slept inside of a small cargo pod. Resik does actually do his shower thing and comes out and gets dressed as well, I assume, right away.
Yes.
Okay. But otherwise, they're doing the whole bathing thing. Is anybody... And then they come out and they'll be able to join. What do the crew of the Sable Skies do?
I'm bridge watch right now.
What's that?
Yeah, and I'm just
I'm bridge watch. That means I sit there and stare at consoles.
And you haven't moved the console into the lounge area yet like they did with the Falcon. So, yeah, it's in the bridge. It's on the cockpit. What else people doing for her right now?
I'm looking at the deck plans right now. Hold on.
I'm fixing this computer I broke.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll for it?
Give me a start with the programming repair. Give me the repair roll for computers. This is going to kind of give you an idea of what you have to go through.
16.
It's going to need a lot of skill to kind of repair this one, because it is it's miniaturized work, where you got standard computers, you have tablets and data pads. This is very much miniaturized, where this has the power of a standard computer, shrunk down. The specifics of its purpose yet not known, because you haven't gotten it powered up yet. But it has been ionized and fried. The power cell is gone. It is fried and maybe this close from leaking and dissolving half the mechanism. It's one of the first things you yanked out of it very quickly to preserve it. Memory you don't know yet, and any kind of thing that might be stored on it still, you don't know yet because it's not powered on yet. But you will at
And I'm
least...
assuming for that roll I wouldn't have gotten my mathematical bonus.
Not yet. Not yet. There's more physical repair rolls on this one. But it will need some spare parts. And there's not a lot of spare parts on the ship, except for maybe a few basic fuses and capacitors and, relays that are designed for the ship itself. Not a lot designed for miniaturized computers.
So basically I'm not going to be able to actually get it fixed until I have a time to get actual supplies.
You'd have to look around pretty much. Either look... as of right now, not really.
Alright.
No, man.
Corha.
And then...
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Doc.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Go. No, that was my action. Go.
Well, you're going to be on that thing for a while, so it's at
Yeah.
least half a day to even get that far. Corha.
I'm going to be working on repairing Bit.
He left Bit behind with the Carillions. What he has is R2
Oh,
junk.
that's right.
R2
Okay.
R2 junk pile. You're talking about.
Yeah, let me see what I can do with this little puppy.
Okay.
Since I do have some
R2
circuitry replacement parts and whatnot.
R2 junk pile has been following you around the entire time, whether you liked it or not, really, because that was the last command that was given to him.
Yep.
He does. The droid does actually carry himself around as masculine, so basically, like R2 did. It does have the. Give me a droid repair roll to get a first start with the idea of what's wrong with it. And this will be probably about the same amount of half a day just to even get an idea of what's going wrong with it.
21.
All right, let me just make sure that we recap for Fred or Resik. R2 junk pile still has been following Corha around the ship anytime she actually goes someplace, by the way.
That's sweet.
You said 21. When you get done with like the half a day, look around, poke at it, take a couple panels off of it, you find that the outer shell is truly an R2 droid shell. But after removing maybe a couple of plates and doors that are supposed to have things on the inside, like arms and fire extinguishers, the whole surface casing can lift off this droid without almost anything holding it in place.
You didn't even buy a dinner yet, did you?
What you find underneath is
Hey, I'm talking nice to it.
what looks more like a wheeled... It has the 3 legs, but it looks more like an obelisk than an R2 droid. Like a rectangular droid. Do you remember... well, I know one of it... Stupid. Siobhan, you haven't seen the movie yet, the last movie yet, right?
No, I haven't seen
Not
it
yet?
now.
Okay.
I
Well-
have.
Oh, you have? Okay. When
Yes, I have.
when BB-8 runs around with a garbage can on his head,
Okay.
think the opposite. There's a round thing on top of a rectangular thing this time. And it's a rectangular droid that fits inside of the R2 unit. It has lights on the inside. It has all the lights and stuff it's supposed to actually have. It has the big, gigantic, bulbous eye on it. It has the swivel camera that goes around. But it is not a swivel head. It's not with any of that stuff. It doesn't have a lot of arms and protrusions coming off of it.
Having been a tech, is this a custom job or is this a?
It kind of both. You've never seen a droid like this before, but the way it's the way it is built, appears as if it had to have been manufactured. Because otherwise, to get the casing like this, they would have known a blacksmith, because it's seriously like pounded metal into the shape for rectangular. They're not like perfect edges, they're rounded over. It's a weird design. Either an entire die would have had to have been created just to punch the outer casing, or it would have had to have been forged. So manufacturing would have had to be involved. But you've never seen one like this before.
Okay, well, I know. Corha's gonna-
It does have some of the
Great part.
it does have a few of the
No,
basic
I won't.
protuberances. It does have the data arm, the data jack, and everything like that. It has a
I
data
won't
jack.
pull him apart, but I'm definitely poking around at him.
Yeah. And because of Resik and his tech stuff, I will let Resik know, even if you're hiding this. Yeah, somebody's messing around with Junk Pile. Junk Pile's not in danger. He's a little nervous, but it's not too much. Siobhan is taking watch on the ship for that. I'm going to consider you to half the day at least, to poke around at R2 junk pile, which doesn't look like a junk pile at all when you take the outer shell off. It looks like it's a normal droid, except weird.
That has a bucket put over it to disguise it.
Yeah. And it looks like a really bad disguise job, or somebody was trying to pass it off as literally just pass it off as an R2 droid, and did a bad job at passing it off, because weird obelisk droids don't really sell as fast as R2 droids might, especially when you don't have a clue what they do.
Well, after poking around and checking him out and everything, Corha's going to see what she can do to possibly make this cover a little more convincing for him then.
Okay. You work on that one. I'm gonna give days on this, because people are gonna be running around for days and stuff like that. And make sure that you guys actually converse with each other as well, because I know Resik had a few things to say on because
That's a 20 for
Okay.
modifying that R2 shell.
trying to
fit him
do
better.
the designs and stuff like that. I'm gonna give that one to the design stage, because I'm making it like, you got days. You don't have to rush it. Aside from doing bridge duty, Siobhan, was there anything else that you were doing?
Mostly I was just in my cabin, meditating when I can,
Okay.
trying to figure out new force powers, increase my skills,
Okay.
those types of things, but out of sight of other people.
Okay. I forgot there was something that I needed Draz for, but I'll get to that later. Because Newt has something for that. Resik,
Yeah.
was there anything you needed to do, or were you going to metagame, out of game, just wait for Brian to do it, or are you going to do some of what you planned?
I might wait for that, but in the meantime, I do search the armory, see if there's any sort of armor. There isn't any.
No.
Damn it. I feel weird being on a ship without armor now.
Stupid. Force shields, lightsabers. I need armor.
It's a
Anyways.
security blanket thing.
God.
Calling
Mandalorian
him
doesn't even...
Linus.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just flex armor, man. That's all.
The Mandalorian doesn't even have his armor yet. He's still making it. And you're sitting there, oh my God. Anyways, I have a feeling I have a feeling that there's something he could use, but you ain't gonna let go of it either. Yeah, I see the smile on your face. You're not letting it go.
I'm trying to let it go.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my
Let it
God.
go. Let it go.
That'll be a stretch.
Because then you get cool ice powers. Cool.
I don't even know if you even think about the item that I was talking about. Because Newt saved him. There's a few things... You haven't actually checked what Newt saved yet.
No. Newt just still hiding in the room?
Pretty much she actually, after she was done with her shower, she got dressed again in whatever she could find, which is a standard issue crappy jumpsuit that's on the ship. A couple of emergency outfits.
Jumpsuits are the height of fashion.
She found a few clean emergency jumpsuits on the Sable Skies that all of them pretty much come with because, you know, things happen. You need to jump into the engine literally, and it's kind of dirty in there.
Oh God, mine's branded with wheel. I should change into one too.
On her, it looks a little loose because she's a small woman.
That's what belts are for.
Your current jumpsuit looks like what it looks like on her. Big, baggy, and totally ill-fitting. Because it was the one that they had, and nobody felt like giving you a better one. And they do have another one for you that fits you.
Yay!
Okay.
Is it bright orange?
No, it's a gray one. It's a Luke Skywalker on Dagobah gray.
Yeah, okay.
Except a jumpsuit, not a two-piece that he tucks in and sews together, you know, behind the scenes. So that it never rides up and shows his belly. So you can actually get changed. Is there any conversing you guys do? Because that was what I was expecting a little bit from Resik.
I'll check in with Newt, see what she's rescued, and check to see if she has any warnings. Like, everything seem okay so far?
Everything's fine, boss. Everything's fine. We're good.
Oh, it's always fine.
Hang on, let me actually... That thing... It was your lightsaber, her two lightsabers, and the two special lightsabers.
Items.
The two special lightsabers. You know, the ones that don't have a beam coming out of them?
Yeah. Well, one of them was still a broken casing.
Yeah. She still has it.
Yeah.
The first item, which hopefully you remember the item.
Yeah, I know what those are.
Okay, I can't remember any of the other stuff that you...
Well, she threw Brian the double lightsaber the
Yes.
Inquisitor had.
Yeah, Brian has the double lightsaber the Inquisitor has.
The spinny toy.
Mm-hmm. He can play with that and do whatever he wants with it. He can keep it as a spare or whatever, Draz. She pretty much gave that over to him because his shut down on him abruptly, so she tossed it to him. And somehow she knew that it shut down on him. I can't remember any of the other weird trophies and artifacts that you guys had off the top of my head. and I don't want to show anybody who actually sees this the rest of it. Was there anything that you can verbalize, Resik?
Well, my mask is gone. My flex armor is gone.
Your flex armor, your mask is gone. Because she didn't care about those things. She still thinks you're really, seriously.
Yeah.
I don't wear armor.
Yeah, it was freaking like a decade and a half of wearing like nothing but armor, flex armor.
The BlackBerry is still there.
I'll take that.
Still has the broken antenna, but the BlackBerry is still there. Both of your belts. You guys managed to actually only use one of the coins from the belt.
Yeah.
Okay, right now it says 16. You're both down to 15. Actually, I have to check Newt's because I don't even think hers carried that many because originally she got the belt when she was a lot smaller. And yeah, that was about it. Oh, I just lost track of what. Yeah, the other two lightsabers, the two lightsabers that don't work. I think that should be all that she needed to save before actually getting back out to you. I can't remember if I think you had all the artifact, well, stuff that qualifies as artifacts.
Yeah, the things where it's dive into a sun before lose them. Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I think she had just a. Oh wait, no, she started with 20 of the coins. I'm gonna say she's down to 15 because she used hers mostly, and you used only one. So both of you have 15 of those coins. Oh, and the two coins in the box. That was the other thing I forgot.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
So that was checking with them. That was done. I'd say somebody who's standing in place. So I'd go up to the cockpit.
Okay. Now, out of curiosity, just to cover this, and I'm going to go back to I'm going to go back to
Where's the floor plan?
Siobhan, Naw-Tor, Corha.
Naw-Tor. I'm going to go back to Naw-Tor in a second. Now, while Resik and Newt are doing these things and kind of claiming the cabin, he's checking his stuff and doing their, showering things. Did anybody snoop in on them? Now, during that time period, I know you were working on the bracer, you were working on the droid. Siobhan was working on, monitoring the cockpit and meditating and stuff like that. But I wanted to just double check if anybody was actually attempting to snoop in on them. I know.
Not attempting to snoop,
Okay.
just strike up a conversation when I'm not in the cockpit with Newt.
Okay.
Because I know she's naturally reticent, but I'd still like to, talk to her.
Yeah.
There's the
I mean,
lounge.
Most
hell,
people
she
do.
got me out of there.
Most people try to. It's difficult, and Resik knows it even too. She's pretty much over there for right now. By the time Resik actually works his way towards the cockpit, I want to go back to Naw-Tor. Something? What was your attempt after your thing after your bracer? Did you have something else that you were trying to do?
I was gonna see if I could get started on my armor or continue working on my armor.
Okay. Armor.
So
Yeah.
I'm trying to see. So I'd start in the crew quarters. Is anybody in their quarters?
No. That's
Okay.
everybody was blanket. You were.
Depends on when you go, because I'm in there, but
I thought you were in the
I thought
cockpit.
you were on the cockpit. I thought you were in the
I'm
when I'm
just
not in the cockpit,
checking at
I'm
the
doing.
layout.
Stop.
Pause.
Everybody stop. I'm doing half the time in the cockpit monitoring.
Right.
I'm assuming that our pilot is doing the other half.
Yeah.
Okay? So we're swapping duties back and forth. When I'm not in the cockpit doing that work, I'm in my cabin.
Okay. I'm gonna love this. This is gonna be funny then. Naw-Tor, as you start actually kind of poking around some materials you might have actually had for armor, Siobhan comes out of the cockpit and finds you working on that instead of your shift.
Naw-Tor, what?
Now
But
she
it-
got it.
It's your shift.
Now you got
I
it.
mean, if you want to pull out, if you want to rig up a screen out here, that's fine. But it's your shift, so you need to go to the cockpit now.
Yeah, you guys haven't installed
Hello?
the secondary relay yet, so.
Why isn't that a standard feature?
I'll
no.
go up to the cockpit and program my little droid to, well, tell my droid to a brief list, since it is a scavenging droid.
Yeah.
To, gather bits of items that I can use for armor.
Okay.
Too soon.
Start working.
Oh, that was not intentional, but
Pretty much start working on the materials you're going to actually need for the things, really. Just start looking around.
yeah.
You know what? What skills did that droid have? I forgot. Give me the... I added one or two to it, but I added dodge. But what were the other skills in that droid? I'm kind of curious, because I just realized
Search,
something.
lifting, and
Search,
you added droid repair, I believe.
what was, it was search and what?
Lifting.
Okay. And it was ship repair I added. I thought I added dodge. Yeah, no, ship repair. That's right.
No,
Okay.
you didn't add ship repair. I think
okay.
it was just
Dodge.
Dodge.
Right? Dodge. Yeah, dodge, because it was get out of the way of things falling on it. That was right. It's a junkyard. It's always a possibility. Every time I think junkyard, I think Friday the 13th and Ready Player One. Dodge is an important skill for anybody who hangs out in a junkyard. And it's a cinematic universe, so guess what? I'm going to use that as a reference. What was the skill on the search? I'm kind of curious.
2?
2D?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's gonna be looking for stuff forever.
Yeah. Well, he's probably gonna pay for an upgrade on that, but I'm kind of worried about something that is now on the ship, and I was wondering if the stupid droid's gonna just yank it, and yeah.
It does have it. I don't know if it necessarily matters, but it does come with. It has its own receiver and transmitter.
No, it doesn't matter too much. That's just for communication and such like that. So Siobhan actually starts going back there. Resik starts going out. I'm going to let dialogue stuff. I'm pretty sure people are actually going to be talking at this point, at some point.
Well, no, he's the pilot because he just got yelled at for not going to do it.
Yeah, for not being the pilot.
I was stuffed in a box when he left. I don't know.
He's the pilot, and he's not piloting.
Well, now he.
I'll just mumble and give in. When the ship's in hyperspace, it's on autopilot.
Pretty much.
Apparently, people do not understand this.
That's okay. Nothing could ever happen to suddenly pull it out of hyperspace.
Out of game.
No, nothing.
Out of game. Technically, she's right. You should be monitoring at all times, but just to make sure that the lights don't flash the wrong color. That's really all it really is, and that's all that stupid terminal was in the Falcon. Really, is to watch it and just monitor all the green and blue lights, make sure they don't go yellow and red and purple. Because
Well, to be fair, it was a pile of junk and can drop out of hyperspace at any time.
yeah. So yeah, she's going out. You're going in. You were heading towards the cockpit. What was
I think Corha is still fiddling with this crazy droid.
Corha was fiddling with the droid. Are you still going with the droid, or are you still working on the plans for that?
Oh no, it says in her personality on the page that she's more comfortable around droids than she is people usually. So
Okay. So she's drawing up plans for that.
So I suppose something that I'll do is I'm in this bridge, I'll do a examination of what it would take to have a portable thing to monitor the various things you would need to monitor in hyperspace.
Hey, that's a good idea.
Do you have to hook up a transmitter and a receiver in both things, or do you just
Give me-
install a port in every room with a long cable?
If you're talking
Just walk
We
a thing
need
and
like
plug
a
it into the wall.
comm link that's capable of
Portable?
transmitting data
portable,
to
let's go.
modified data pad. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
With portable.
Yeah,
you know
I'm
what?
thinking a modified data pad pretty much.
You know what? Give me a programming. No, give me the program repair roll. Computer repair roll. Yeah.
You actually should ask the tech that has the skills to
Yeah,
do
I
it.
know, but he's trying to do it.
When does he ever ask other people?
I know,
He
it's
just
weird.
breaks
I know.
things, gets yelled at, and they have to fix it. We'll turn it back. This makes them more efficient, or they blow up. So put them back.
What do you got
The
for that?
glowing blue eyes.
Did I lose you there? Did I lose Naw-Tor? No, Naw-Tor's still there. I'm just waiting for his calculation.
25.
25. With that, you can actually know for a fact that items like that are on the market already, where you can monitor the ship and everything on a bracer.
I have value. Can I roll that to see how much something like that would cost?
Yeah. And I have a feeling Corha is going to do me a favor. And it looks like she was looking it up, actually.
Oh, no, I have an example on one of my pages that I was
Okay.
going to pull up quick.
Yeah, go for it. That'll work. For a second there, I'm like sitting there going, wait, you're looking for the item that I know exists, aren't you?
13.
13. Could be. Yeah. Hang on one sec. Yeah.
You
It
could
could range.
just say it simply. Say, oh, go ahead.
You got a range of price from around 25 credits to 2,000, plus additions and junk to shove into it. Since a lot of them on the market are actually very modular, very customizable, some of them can only do a certain genre. Like if you get a ship one, it's pretty much going to be all ship stuff. If you get a computer one, it's going to be computers and slicing. You get a scientific one, you might be able to put scanners in there, but it all revolves around science. The shipboard one a lot of times is just for within the ship, though. Nothing like I'm going to remotely control my ship. If you can shove that in there, it's a big difference, and it's a big cost of a bonus on that, and you don't know the prices on that.
A remote slave unit can go anywhere from about 5,000 credits up to 10,000 credits, I think.
I mean, a lot of if you do the slave units, it's huge. So there's a big range that you can actually do, and you just happen to have a broken one of that kind of genre, of that kind of thing, on your work desk. It's basically the same kind of thing. It's just kind of depending on what it's designed for. For the one you have, you still got to power it on to find out if it was set up for computers, ship, and whatever to really figure out what to do.
Corha? Is that right?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
Corha. Keep the names in mind.
Hello?
Let's see. If she's working on the droid, she's probably got her headphones in, so she's probably not paying any attention. Sorry.
Jamming out to some Daft Punk or Tori Amos or Joan Jett.
No.
Joan
no,
Jett?
No.
Def Leppard.
Something more along the lines of
Falco?
Probably Hailstorm, Metallica. something
Okay.
Huh.
It's too
I'll just
bad.
have to get her attention later about this crazy thing.
Barrel rolls.
We're in hyperspace. I can't actually do that.
No, bad idea.
So then I guess the next thing I would do is, or I'll let other people take control now.
Yeah.
Because I've done enough.
Yeah. So you're working on the droid and the plans for the droid on that one. You figure, Corha, the droid itself, you're going to need some more parts. Because angling an R2 droid to fit into it, maybe cut it apart and then kind of reshape it, maybe?
Well, I've got the tools for it.
Yeah, it's possible.
Well, I'm not going to go crazy, but I'm going to see what I can do here.
Okay, I'm
Make it
still
just
figuring
a little
it-
more convincing.
I'm still working on it. I'm still figuring you're still in the planning stages on those. Resik gets over to the common areas, obviously, because he was listening to Siobhan and Naw-Tor. What is Resik doing?
Well,
Resik.
so the only person then in the common area.
Well, it's pretty
Well,
much
they're there.
Probably me.
Siobhan's
Yeah.
going to be there.
Yes,
Corha's technically could be considered the common areas. I mean, the engineering areas kind of all linked, I think.
They're on the back.
Okay.
I'd have to remind myself.
No, the common areas are up at the front of the ship, and engineering's in the back.
It looks like actually the common area would be engineering, actually, by the looks of it. Because otherwise you got storage areas and then you got bunks.
Number 11 is the engineering stations.
Oh, okay.
You're also talking about needing to use a workbench, because if you're pulling a droid apart, you're going to have pieces that you're going to want to set someplace.
Yeah. There's not a lot of room back there, but if you got it spread out, you might want the cargo
We need to
area.
fix this too, because to get to the medical bay, you got to go through this engineering.
Cargo. Yeah, cargo. That doesn't make much sense.
No, it doesn't.
I didn't design it, guys. You can redesign
Yeah, but you
it.
gave it to us.
Yeah, I did.
This is one of the things that we would talk to the little creatures about once we get back to CC Beta.
Yeah.
Put another door on
What they do.
medical bay.
I'm counting this as conversation in character.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know some of you guys actually don't talk as much as you should. Because I know,
Storage, armory.
'cause I know
Yeah, the Given probably doesn't talk very much at all.
you should.
This is
and
why
I'm
we only
still
got
and I'm still waiting on Resik to actually bring up a few things that he was yakking about.
I wish Brian would get here.
Which yakking abouts are you talking about? Because I talked a lot.
I know. Hang on. Since technically the peanut gallery.
Down, 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 down,
That one could be a start.
down. Yeah, I'd have to know anything about that.
Use your mouth.
Yes, I know. So
You do. No, you know. From the activity.
One of them.
No, from the activity in the battles.
right, too.
You know both because both of them had a lightsaber.
Did Siobhan use lightsaber?
No, she did
Yeah.
No,
not.
Siobhan didn't have a lightsaber.
No, Siobhan,
She
you
used
used a
force
lightsaber,
power.
didn't you?
No, she didn't.
The
No.
force power.
Oh, you
And
just used the
grenades.
force
Force
powers
powers.
against them.
She
Okay.
did not use her lightsaber.
I thought she pulled it out. To the,
Nope.
She
I
was
think she
paranoid
said
about it.
Master Resik too.
eh.
Hush.
Oh, and yeah, I
She's
called him
paranoid
Master
about it.
Resik anyways, so yeah.
Yes. A couple of times, and have Newt.
And knew who Newt was.
Yeah.
So, while I did not pull out my lightsaber, although I considered it after Draz got hers destroyed, didn't have to.
Yeah,
They used
yeah,
the
you did
grenades
use.
and the force powers.
Yeah, you did use the force power. So yeah, it's going to be an obvious thing that the two of them have force. And give me a break. Siobhan was actually going, "Oh my God, it's Newt."
Yeah.
So
Okay.
In front of him.
I'm not that oblivious in game.
I wish you would be. This is one of her fears, being discovered.
Right. So basically, yeah, just be. And now that we're not being shot at, my name is Resik. What was your name?
Siobhan MacDaven?
Well, hello, Siobhan. Thank you for escorting me off of the wheel.
I was one of several that helped. I'm glad I could be of service.
Yeah, how did you get dragged into this?
I work for Conrad Corha, who actually owns this ship.
Yeah, okay.
He's basically subcontracting it to the crew. And to protect his interests, he asked me to tag along as a member of the crew.
Ah. Great. So,
I do what I can for Mr. Corha.
how long has he been throwing them at places?
This is actually the first assignment they've gotten.
I'm sorry.
Kind of obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, no, that's I thought he usually waited like a mission or two until you started feeling like, hey, this isn't that bad, before he just went, so can you go to this decommissioned Star Destroyer, try not to die, steal something important, try not to die, blow it up, or take it someplace it's definitely not supposed to be. Yeah, pilot it with 5 people. It's okay. I'm pretty sure somebody could rig something up.
And try not to die. Yeah, I know. He does that quite a lot. I've been with him for about 8 years now, so I've seen it over and over. So it's one of those cases. This is the, as you know, he's been a big fan of the Space Cow for some time, and when it got captured and the entire crew incarcerated for their many crimes, he offered them this opportunity.
What's a
And so
Space
these
Cow?
guys don't know about the Space Cow. It was.
I've been living on the wheel.
yeah, he
Oh, well,
wouldn't know.
that's-
He wouldn't know anything about the space cow.
Basically, it was a very large ship that had 180 or more people crew who smuggled people around like he does.
Like you do. Right.
Like you do.
Wonderful.
I mean, you
And
know,
and these are all people from that, and they got captured.
they got captured, but they were clean. They didn't have any records with the Empire, so the Empire couldn't really hold them on anything, even though they really, really tried.
We do
so they
now.
let them all go.
Let them all go.
You technically have to look yourselves up to find out if you got a record yet, but
I wouldn't
Still
be
clean
surprised
so
if he
far.
didn't have something to do with that.
Well, I mean, 5 people out of 180, that's kind of really long odds, but I don't know. I didn't do it.
5 people out of 180 who are at least somewhat skilled in what they do and don't have the ability to run off and just set themselves up again without some outside help. Convenient.
Yeah, that's about it, yeah. Well, he keeps an eye out for people. Do you know Mr. Corha? I mean, have you worked with him
Mr.
before?
Yes, I know Conrad. I have worked with is a funny word. 4, sort of, with, probably closer. Yes, I've worked with Conrad Corha.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
He got me into almost half of the crap I've had to deal with.
Oh, my goodness. Well, he never shared it with me. Of course, I'm just a flunky. I go where he says to go, and
Does he still wear these stupid little mustaches?
Well, the stupid little mustaches have kind of grown to a stupid outfit, so um, they've gotten larger over time. Yeah.
Well, this is gonna be a treat.
Well, in order to introduce me to the rest of the crew, you should have seen the bounty hunter outfit he had me in. Plastic armor that you could actually literally snap with your hands, and a wig that was, I swear he got ropes and sewed them onto one of the hairnet things and had me put that on.
He bought it at the mall.
Also, I could walk into the bar and be the most outrageous thing there until he showed up to get their attention.
Whatever happened to the classic guy in a cloak sitting in the corner?
Your guess is as good as mine.
He hires people to do that.
And since I was with him, he told me to do it. So.
Hey, Corha, do me a favor and give me a roll for droid. I think droid programming and repair is the same skill, right? Or is it two different skills?
Programming and repair was, I think, the same. I could check.
Droid program repair is the same skill.
Okay. Corha, give me a droid programming and repair roll. I'm kind of curious on something. And you guys can continue.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to get something out of that.
That's all right.
Because he's working on that still.
So you've been running around with that con man for 8 years. What were you doing before that?
Trying to survive. I was on level 80 on Coruscant, and so it was a little hard.
18. Okay.
18.
Pulled me out of there.
Yeah. I was there too. A little lower.
Well, I had wound up on 1
you-
and managed to fight my way up to 80, and that's where I stayed for a couple of years.
Sorry, I have to
those
interrupt.
first
Fred,
few weeks.
don't say it in
Go
that
ahead.
voice like that again, ever.
Say what? I'm lost.
He said something about going lower. It just
Oh,
sounded they're way creepy.
Well, it's really creepy down there. So, no.
and my mind
I
wasn't
went-
even going anywhere near there. Thank
I
you
went,
so much, Daniel.
You're
I
welcome.
went down there. Right when, I guess it was Order 66. It was a interesting turbo lift ride down, minus the turbo lift. Not entirely sure about all of that impact not actually occurring, but a friend of mine, Newt, were down there. We got out. Well, Newt and I did.
remember.
I would recommend not going down there ever again.
Yeah, it's kind of a frightening place. I mean, it's all mechanical, but with all the poisons they have in the atmosphere and the water dumping into there,
It got
Kinda-
worse now.
kills everything.
Yes,
Real-
it has got.
Real quick, Corha, while you're poking around with the droid and the
Yeah.
casing and planning it out, you find a skill on this droid. You find...
Oh, really?
Yeah. It has an investigation of 6D.
Oh. Oh. Hmm.
Which,
Investigation. of
So while
16.
you're studying it, it's studying you.
which I would actually assume makes you pause. Like, what the hell? Droids with a 6D on a skill, especially that kind of that with a 6D in a skill, is really expensive.
I know what it is. I know what it is. I know. Call on me.
It's pretty expensive.
Yeah,
Oh.
the skill,
Must be a
the skill wear on this thing
garbage
alone.
It runs a garbage scout.
No, it's either a probe droid or a seeker droid or something like that.
Espionage droid.
Hmm. Or that possibly too.
Resik, did you ever save the information that you glommed on for Arjunk? Or is that all lost?
Well, I had a link to it. attached to my character sheet, and then both Bit and Art Junk suddenly lost links.
I'm gonna go look for it real quick.
Like the pages are just gone.
I'll look for it. You guys go ahead and continue, because I'm kind of
Right.
curious about something.
Curious about something. Okay, so yeah, that's we were on Coruscant for not much time at all before I ran into Conrad Core for the first time, and he got me passage off the planet. He got his hooks in.
Well, he and I crossed paths probably about a year and a half after everything happened, and he saw me basically doing the whole beggar routine, just trying to stay alive. He helped me out, and then he got me off planet too. So when he said he needed somebody to work for him and just help him out with various things, I said, hey, I'm not doing anything else. You know, I've been doing that anyway, might as well get paid for it.
Right.
What? What's the matter?
Just realizing certain things I did when I was younger that probably would have necessitated me leaving that planet faster. So,
So how
Yeah.
did you survive the fall?
I don't know. There was falling, and then there was waking up down there. That was about it. That could probably bear some investigation. I haven't really had a chance to do any of that, and I'm not going back to do any more.
You think maybe Newt had something to do with it?
Newt
Or
had
the
something
other
to do
master
with
you
mostly
saw it?
getting any funding we had down there, and no, I don't think he had anything to do with it either. He's probably still down there. And
Out of
I'm
character,
pretty sure.
I'm throwing out all kinds of
I know.
clues here.
I know, and I'm getting
You're just
to it.
missing them all.
I'm keeping a tally of how many things you've just said.
All right. Well, it's also
Yeah.
6 o'clock.
He's very.
Yeah.
Resik is very guarded.
Yeah.
Is it
No,
break time?
Yeah, I need
But-
to step away for it anyways. Give it 10 minutes, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, I need at least 10. I got to run real quick and do a errand. I will be back. I'm not going to log off, but I'll be just away for a little bit.
Not a problem. All right, I'm gonna put my little video up then.
Video.
Yay!
Yay.
Lobo, take the girl to my quarters.
Janet's car? Yeah. There's not a trace of it.
Let me loose. Do you hear me? You will be soon as big as a giant. Or, like all the others, dead.
Life has many strange secrets. And none is stranger than the curse of the blood ghouls. In the dark of night, they leave their tombs to satisfy their need for blood. because these demons of the undead can exist only by ravishing the living.
Let me go.
With abnormal powers of love, they enslave the unwary.
Don't let her go.
Leaving on them the horrible telltale fang mark of the vampire. Life-devouring monsters in human form. They can be anywhere, everywhere.
Louise!
No one is safe. Only by destroying them will a town gone wild with terror and fear be free of the curse of the blood ghouls.
It is safe to state that the grandchildren of some of the people in this dinner will not be born on Earth. They come from the bowels of hell, a transformed race of walking dead, zombies guided by a master plan for complete domination of the Earth. Plan 9 from outer space. Starring the most nightmarish cast ever, Bela Lugosi, the seductive Vampira, and Thor Johnson as the Walking Dead.
Turn off your electrode gun! No! No! Stop it, Dennis!
I can't get it. It's jammed.
Stop it, you fool!
Bullets bounce off their bodies. Rockets, missiles, jets cannot stop their death ship. What earthly power can stop this terror? For a glimpse of things to come, see this blast of screen suspense. For it could be happening right now.
came to say goodbye, Jules. You never left me without saying goodbye.
No clues, no fingerprints, no motive, nothing.
But surely if a man was choked to death, there would be imprints on his throat.
Why in the world do you stay in this place?
We can't leave.
Incidentally, where are your menfolk?
You're the first man I've ever seen.
Let go, Kip.
Helen, what's the matter?
Danger, Kip. They want to kill you. They'll take the spaceship and they'll make me go with them.
Well, how?
They can, Kip. They control me.
You'll share man's greatest thrill as you rocket through space to the lost moon city of alluring, ferocious cat women. Theirs is the fevered fury of life without love, goading them to lure men into the den of bloodthirsty moon monsters, driving them to tempt men in the deadly cave of moon gold, flaming into a wild lust to conquer man and destroy the world.
That already played. And the audio goes
Really
back
short
on.
movies.
Yay! Okay, and we're back over here. Anybody who watches, Corha had to actually step away for a few minutes. Corha will be back soon. Okay.
Cat butt, lay down.
So we are in an episode called Vacation Time.
Yeah.
Apparently. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
lay down.
Just relaxing.
Just relaxing.
Yeah.
Actually,
so you were.
I should have put it as something along the lines of like labeling it something more along the lines of the voyage home, and done the vacation afterwards. But whatever.
Stop.
Right.
Because I have to do a short game anyway. So.
Several weeks into a freaking trip, it's vacation. It's you're stuck in the hotel room, but it's still vacation. So,
in a sense, you guys are stuck in the RV. So yeah, it's a little difficult to do that, and it's
now.
Yeah, and it's of course I'm going to do a time lapse because I can't have you sit there like for 15 days worth of shit, you know. I just want to kind of make sure that the key points are actually brought to light.
it's enough time for people to sit there and do agility training to get a point of tax.
It is, but you don't have the gear for it. What? So continue, Resik. Continue,
Yes.
Resik.
So basically, yes.
We're still chatting.
Yes.
I got off that planet about a year before you did. Then you were pretty low down. Any strange rumblings from below?
I was a little bit too busy trying to find my next meal, honestly. I I don't know exactly what you're asking me if I heard. Rumors wise,
Any
is that
crazy
there was a
droids
new-
coming up from below to start taking people off into the darkness?
Oh, the kidnapping droids. Well, there's always that story.
Oh, great! There's a
was,
name for it.
Well, no, it's not the kidnapping droids. What did they call it? The forced recruitment droids. That was the polite name. Everybody else just called them
You mean the press gang 9000s?
Yeah, something like that. We had it. Yeah, there were a few of those. They were
That
kind of
is
hard to
so-
avoid sometimes.
That is so going to be put in his canon.
The press gang 9000.
Press Gang 9000s. I love
It just
that.
wanders around. Have you thought about joining the Empire?
You have
Grabs you by the neck, lifts you up, clamps your arms to your torso, carries you. Well, looks for another one.
One arm with a contract for admittance into the Imperial Navy or the infantry. A true citizen would sign up. A fake citizen
Luckily,
would get
I
their
was-
neck broke.
Luckily, I was able to avoid most of them. I
That
say
sounds
most
like a
because I had to
really creepy
destroy
droid
one.
around the interrogator droid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
So
But anyway,
so Master.
you're a Jedi Master, aren't you?
Technically.
Had
But you
you
also knew
trained
that there was
people?
another master. And you seem to be familiar with Newt. Also, there was a weird sense in the middle of that last bit of the fight.
Now wait a second. Player information that blocks it all, so you wouldn't be able to pick
Yes,
that up.
everything went dark.
Yes, for a little bit, but you don't know it was me that did it.
It went away when you walked off and not when Draz did.
Shit.
Catch 20.
I've seen Newt. I've seen Newt around. So anyway, I think I think he needs me in the cockpit. Nice talking to
Evasion.
you.
You can now put a point. You can now put a point into awkward comments evasion. I believe that's off of knowledge. Was it?
Con. Let's
Con,
see.
really.
Point and con.
Yeah.
Con advanced skill. Oh, I think my comm link is ringing. Bye.
Yeah. I'm due for some sleeping in my cabin. Yeah, that's it. Working Fairchild. Yeah, that's it. That's the ticket.
Okay.
You could stop her.
The lead-in like that? No, I think we'll get to that some other time during this 15 days on the friggin' ship.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to let that go for the next day then. I'm going to let that go for the next day then.
I'm going to go bother Corha. Oh.
Yeah, for right now, I'll just say you bother Corha. Well, it would have been fun to actually have... I was kind of curious if he was going to get into the point of actually cutting the R2 chassis to pieces that'll actually go on to the obelisk droid. A little easier to hide the fact that it is whatever it is.
That's okay.
And have
And
you
that's the
actually
amount of-
hear the droid screaming in terror as it's cutting its protective skin apart and doesn't know what's going on. Because by this point, when it is freaking out, you can hear it and understand what it's saying. Because of that stupid sensing and tech.
That's just sensing.
garbage you
That's not
have.
speaking to.
But that's your stupid tech garbage. For the next day, on the next day,
I'll go and harass Draz. Oh,
Can't harass Draz. Draz isn't here.
not yet. Well, you already know that Draz was actually a little bit in the Force as well. But on the next day, So your basic system kind of everybody goes to their bunks the next day. People take turns with the watch at the cockpit. In the morning, I'm assuming Naw-Tor makes the food because he likes the cooking and such like that. When I'm actually going to say Naw-Tor is the one that actually. Naw-Tor, when you're done with the cooking for the crew, would you be the one that tells everybody that breakfast is ready?
Yes.
Okay. You're waking everybody up, and in the process of waking everybody up, you start heading over towards the bunk cabin where Resik and Newt had set up shop.
Uh-oh.
The door really is ajar as it is. They really weren't.
It's a door.
Shut up. When you look inside, though, both of them are already awake. But what looks like they're actually, I guess, in a morning routine of some form of Jedi magic trance thingy that they do, pseudo whatever.
Meditate while standing on your hands.
Both of them are kneeling face to face. They're kind of stripped down to just the bare needs, like, shirtless, pantsless. So they're just Newt's just got a wrap around her chest. She's got shorts on. Resik's got a pair of shorts on, and they're just facing each other. Maybe an item, weird, busted up piece of electronics is like circling in between them. But one of the things you notice, because it's blatantly obvious, is Resik has seen some shit. You've never in your life seen any warrior with this many scars.
You do remember I'm a Mandalorian.
I know.
Okay.
His arms, legs, chest, neck, everything has a multitude of different weapon patterns, scars, burns, huge. What looks like he might have had a gaping wound in his abdomen that would have spilled his guts and killed anyone, is just a ragged scar. There's a few pieces of flesh that look like a scoop of ice cream was taken out. But at this particular time, it's just scar tissue. And these scars are overlapping each other over and over again. You kind of sneak around a little bit before... I'll let you sneak around a little bit beforehand. There's not a lot of scars on his back. Most of it is forward-facing. Newt also has a few scars on her as well. Sorry. Mostly blaster shots that are obviously just wounds, but her wounds healed normally. They are normal healed scars. Resik's are not. It looks, I mean, seriously, it looks like everything has been battlefield patched up with glue and just left to rot and fester and grow together. There does look to be a few wounds that should have been infected because you can see the discolored skin on what would have been an infection.
On Newt or Resik?
On Resik. Newt's wounds are all normal scar tissue, and they're not a lot of them. Resik looks like he went through hell. What are you trying to count? What are you trying to count, Resik? All the different
types. There was blaster,
blades, explosions,
there
fire,
was electrical discharges, lightsabers, bladed weapons.
There was fire as well. Remember, those ships were on fire, and so were you. That's my favorite one because that's where the abdomen wound actually came into play. Oh, and the abdomen wound. That wasn't a blade that did that, I don't think. That was actually blaster fire that cut his gut open.
They weren't really blasters, but they yeah. Oh, even some slug throwers.
Oh yeah, slug thrower wounds, yeah. So this is basically what you're seeing when you get to come in and go, breakfast.
Well, basically, Resik has gotten basically Naw-Tor has much more respect for this crazy son of a gun.
Yeah.
Than anyone else. Yeah.
You might see why he actually is still whining about not having armor.
So yeah, basically, I say breakfast is served, but do not hurry. There will be plenty left for you both. And then I'll leave and basically prepare a much more honorary meal for those two.
I'll get the good egg substitute out.
You get the high quality organo slop.
Yeah. The organic canned food. Okay. It's
just basically a lot of respect from Naw-Tor.
Yeah.
I'm also counting the amount of times I got to a back tank.
Yeah. Wait, did you actually get into a back to tank for any of that?
One of them.
One of them? Okay.
One of them. I was unconscious at the time. I woke up in one.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Most likely how Resik would end up in a back to tank. Completely unconscious. Because otherwise, if he can walk, he can still fight.
Okay, we're done? Okay. Medkit? I'm going to go to sleep now.
Yeah. There was a couple of battles where he just fell down and unconscious.
Oh, super glue is a hell of a thing.
Almost as good as surgical adhesive, just a lot more painful.
I think they're both the same, aren't they?
Yeah. Actually, my dad is a paramedic, and he has said on several occasions he wishes that he could just have super glue on the ambulance.
Yeah, because they won't let him.
Surgical glue is just super glue with an anesthetic in it, I think.
That's the adhesive, yeah, the medical adhesive. But they won't let the paramedics use the glue.
They use battlefield treatment. No.
It would help. Anyways,
I knew a guy that did glass repair for windows and everything. He had something break on him at least once a week. He kept a bottle of super glue in his pocket. Just pop it out, stick it in there, and he would, scream. But
it's like ow, 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 ow. Give it a few seconds, I'm back to work.
Yeah.
It's pretty much the same with every toolbox. Most of us use electrical tape, if necessary, not duct tape, because duct tape loses adhesion, where electrical tape will last longer, so you can finish the job and then go get your finger reattached.
Anyway, go ahead.
Moving on.
It's true. For this day, a lot of the days I'm going to kind of like lump together, basically. I know Corha is going to be working on the droid. Naw-Tor, you were going to be focusing on the computer. Was there anything else through the for the whole 15 days? I'm kind of figuring. Was there anything else to poke at, or
Armor, and then
in the armor?
And then I'm curious about the sword, too, the shock blade or whatever.
I sent you guys the stats for that. Did you get those? I think.
But just
he wants to poke at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a cool design. It's new. It's completely a homebrewed modification of any kind of vibroblade that actually has electricity going down it to stun and add stun damage to that lethal damage at times. So it'll offset anybody that even has a low strength. Which means all you have to do is focus on hitting them, and you still do a ton of damage. Hey, there's a Brian.
Hi, Brian.
We don't have Corha for right now because you had to go ahead and do something. Okay, I'm gonna let Resik actually then poke it Draz for a minute as soon as he's ready.
So we're on. I don't know if you saw any of it. We're on the ship now with like 14 something days of time to kill. What were you going to be doing then? Because I'm probably going to wander in on it. Except,
There you go.
Yeah, 14 days so far.
Well, it's like a 14-day trip.
All right, so a good part of it would have been Draz going to her quarters and kind of taking a breather from everybody, and the recent altercation with a droid punchy happy given, and then she will excuse me, she's gonna look at the Inquisitor saber and what is left of her saber, and is more than likely going to try to make probably 1 to 2 sabers.
Okay.
Probably go to that 2 saber deal that I picture that I had showed you guys before.
Yeah. Basically modify it so that you can separate the 1 saber into 2.
No, it's just going to be 2 straight up separate sabers.
2 separate sabers, the one you have, and
No.
the one out of the new one. The repair on your existing lightsaber can be done. I don't really need any special parts or anything like that. I just need a lightsaber repair roll.
Yeah, I'll just do that then.
Yeah. As for the other one, you can remove the ring if you wanted to.
Okay.
You can use it as a single blade, or you can use it as a double blade. It's kind of up to you and which way you want to go with it.
Probably single blade.
Yeah, but you don't have to disable it or rip it apart to make it a single blade. You can just use it as a single blade.
For construction at 4D. Okay, hold on. I'm sorry. I'm trying to. I have dice in the way of the mouse. Get out of the way.
And we've got the Corha back.
Yay! Hail, hail! The gang's all here.
Yeah.
18.
18 cleans off the slag from your lightsaber easily. Basically, if I remember correctly, it was actually molten metal from whatever you hit got too close to the emitter and just clogged it.
Yeah.
Cleaning it out, not a problem whatsoever.
Nice.
The other one, yeah, it's just mostly it's taking junk off of an existing lightsaber. It is red.
Aesthetics.
Yeah, it is red lightsaber. As you know with lightsabers, or you should know, your character would know, you can reattune if the crystal is willing, and the lightsaber crystal will change color. But at this particular moment, it's red. And so you remember also, Newt does still walk around with a light red lightsaber as well as her white lightsaber.
Pink donut.
It's more red than pink, really.
Yeah, if anything, if I could get, I know my blade was blue, so if I transition that, shouldn't be a big deal. And then
Okay.
with this red one, this crystal that I'm unaccustomed to, moving that to a white is going to be a couple steps down the Roy G. Biv.
Yeah, okay.
2 crystals.
So you have basically, even if you don't reattune the crystal, it works just perfectly fine. It's not going to argue with you or anything like that. It's not sentient or anything like that.
Yeah.
Resik knows about those. So it's not a big deal on those. And I don't. Did you watch any of the stuff we were doing before?
I know I was unable to.
Okay. Basically, everybody did get out. They allowed a scan of the ship. Before getting scanned, they moved quickly enough to hide Resik and Newt inside the cargo bays. Got away. The smuggler's base. They did a couple of pirate jumps and then are now on their way to Rendili. Naw-Tor was able to shave off a lot of time, but it's still a huge trip to head back over to Rendili's system.
Okay.
2 weeks.
Like 2 weeks, yeah. It's like, 2 weeks Earth, 3 weeks Star Wars. Figure 14 days. Resik was actually poking around the ship a little bit. Made Siobhan nervous. In the morning, made Naw-Tor go, oh shit. Oops. And Corha has been playing with Resik's droid and found some weird things inside.
It's all weird things inside.
Yeah, it is. Did I miss anything?
But when you find a whole droid inside of another droid, you know.
Yeah, well, it's just a shell, really. Other than that, Resik and Siobhan were actually talking about a couple things, and he probably might have actually overheard some of the escape from Coruscant talk, and how all three of them are victims of that escape.
That's their connection to each other.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. They all were at the temple at one point, and they all ended up at the bowels of Coruscant, and they all escaped.
And when I started asking questions about that, suddenly she was getting a phone call and had to go.
Oh.
Like in character, she was getting a phone call. You can't receive a transmission right now, but she picked up her comm link and went, oh shit, it's my mom. No.
She went into the cockpit.
I'm exaggerating. Yeah, I'm exaggerating a little bit.
Yeah, Naw-Tor needs me. I'll be right back.
Yeah. But I let him actually go for the night at that point and have the nap. And in the morning, Naw-Tor found a little secret about Resik that made him go, oh shit.
Scars everywhere.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to actually.
Mostly a giant walking scar.
I forgot one of the other parts of what Naw-Tor would have seen. He is also. I would actually say he is in the heyday of Arnold Schwarzenegger's career buff.
But just mutilated with scars.
Yeah. Not pumping iron buff, like second Terminator movie buff, which is still pretty huge, but he let a little bit go. He couldn't compete anymore, obviously.
Strength of 4, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, that's the strength of 4 is pretty much Terminator. Arnold Schwarzenegger would be a 4D. Along with missing chunks and scar tissue everywhere. But it's Naw-Tor. I don't know if Naw-Tor is sharing that yet.
Nope.
Not yet. So
I haven't even had a chance to, really.
Well, not yet, anyways. But I'm going to leave it to you guys to see if there's anything you guys want to do right now or say to each other.
Breakfast is ready, by the way. I've gone door to door to each person's room, pulled out headphones if I've needed to, and I've said breakfast is ready. Ready.
Pulled out headphones, got swatted.
Found me meditating, so.
Breakfast is ready!
Yeah, she's probably not all super, as psycho looking as the other two you found meditating though.
Yeah, she's getting like just like meh, weird, creepy human.
Yeah.
Mm.
No. Draz is Twi'lek.
No.
Oh, Corha.
No, not Corha. Siobhan.
Oh, Siobhan. Yeah.
She said she was meditating.
Yeah. Sorry.
That's why I said weird, creepy human.
Yeah.
Sitting there with eyes closed.
Actually, out of curiosity, would Draz be doing that as well? Doing the meditating?
Oh yeah. You should-
Okay.
I think that's part of her dealing with the dark side slowly encroaching upon her, and the anger and stuff, and then wanting to repair the lightsaber and also fix it and to dismantle this other one so it looks more to something that she's used to using.
Okay.
Our ship is full of people that just meditate for like 3 hours.
That's basically what I was trying to see, is to see if he actually ends up walking in on 4 people meditating, and Corha grinding gears in her sleep or something. I don't know how her morning routine would be.
Bang on Corha's door to see if she's doing that.
Some people have night terrors. Corha just bangs on the wall with a hammer all night.
Corha.
She talks in binary in her sleep.
I understand that.
Snores in machine code.
Snoring machine code. By the way, Resik, you don't understand hers.
Has dreams in hex.
Dreams in hexic. So yeah, everybody can actually have a nice dinner, have a nice breakfast all together if you want to do the whole Partridge Family thing, or if you want to hide with your food.
And so once I get, go ahead, Siobhan.
I'll go into the main area and have breakfast there with everyone.
Yeah, it's nice break from running through a thing getting shot at.
Oh yeah.
Teenage angst. She'll be the last one to show up at the table.
Oh, and Resik does actually. Resik does have a new jumpsuit because the ship is equipped with spare jumpsuits. Newt grabs just a standard jumpsuit and just ties it tight. But now Resik actually looks like he fits in his jumpsuit.
And it doesn't have wheel maintenance crew
Mhm.
stenciled across various parts.
It's clean too, or at least half a day clean. So
Newt,
everybody
I
can
could help you with fitting that if you want. You could take it down a couple of sizes.
No, I don't think I'll see any way to use the wheel maintenance jumpsuit anytime that wouldn't involve me running around being shot at again.
I was talking to Newt.
No, that's fine. I'm just wearing it until my other clothes are clean.
Okay.
Yeah. And she eats.
Up to you.
Hey, Corha. Hey, Corha.
Hey, not what?
Hey, I found this. I like open up a small bag and show you the computer wrist thingy.
Okay, I'm gonna take a look at it quick. Computer programming repair. I got a 18 on that. Do I know what it is?
Oh yeah, basically a wristcom, or the bracer comms of. There's actually a model in the books and such like that. Terex com gauntlet computer in a sense. Just the bracer setup.
Computer com.
And it is dead as a doornail because it doesn't have a power cell because it all got fried out. Let me see. You might have something that could fit it. Maybe. There's a possibility. For that would be, I would say, if you wanted to take half a day to see if you can get it powered up.
Yeah, she'll do it.
Okay.
Like as she eats, she grabs it and kind of zones on it and is eating while she's checking it out. And then when she's done, she'll just get up and go back to the engineering section with it and not say a word.
Okay. Resik, now you have
You gave her a new.
So then once Corha's out, I'll look at the other 4 people that I saw levitating. Do you
I wasn't
walk
levitating.
together when you're doing that?
Well, they weren't levitating. They were actually on the ground, but they were all kneeling and doing the whole stereotypical meditation thing, or however.
So do you 4 communicate while you do that, or is it just like a coincidence that the 4 of you are doing that at the same exact time?
It's meditation. It's clearing your mind. It's coming back into balance with the universe. What's strange about that?
That the 4 of you were doing it at the same time?
Well, apparently, we all 4 of us needed things to work on.
It's whenever you find time in the day, man.
It's a quiet time during the day, and it's easiest. Everybody is still kind of half asleep, so they're the energies that they have aren't interfering and distracting.
I can assume that you, as a shock boxer, might have gone through some training regimen or some prior to a shock boxing battle or tournament, some sucking yourself up and things like that. Some training regimen yourself. It's just the same for us, just non-violent.
Oh, okay.
It's relaxing.
It's not for me.
Okay, so don't do it.
I won't.
Easy enough.
So Resik, how did you like your meal? It's very blatant that Resik and Newt have a very different meal than everyone else.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because you set them up with a special meal after that little interaction.
Are these actual vegetables?
Yes. Very much so.
I haven't had much more than canned vegetables for several years. And those may have just been vegetables.
You did live on the cheap.
Yes. Yes.
But you do have, Resik, you have Draz to mess with. You already messed with Siobhan.
Yes. So how's that lightsaber coming?
Okay. My
Which
turn
one?
with the controls.
I've repaired my original lightsaber, and I'm working on removing the aesthetic choice from the other one.
Yeah, no, they like their toys on them. I'm not sure exactly why you would need to make special little things on a lightsaber.
Boys
They're
are
already
looking-
ridiculous enough.
Yeah.
So where did you get your lightsaber from? The first
Mine was constructed during my initial training.
There's
Wow.
always work better than ones you find.
Yeah. During my time on the planet away from my master.
Yes, you asked me about them before. They were Jawa.
Coca.
Master Coca. Yes, I knew of them. I've never really talked to them too much. I missed pretty much the entirety of the last war.
Yeah.
Yes. I was out in the unknown regions. I went out there with Outbound Flight. That did not go well, nor did much of the adventures that we found out there trying to find a way to actually get back.
Right. Yeah, my master was My master was sent off on a similar mission while she had sent me to Saragar for my training, where a holocron was supposed to guide me and train me, and then the crystal from within the holocron was used to create my lightsaber.
Holocron lightsabers. Those aren't very common.
No, just the crystal, not the data and stuff.
All right. So you were then away when I'm guessing everything sort of went pear-shaped.
Yes.
Yes. That was probably a very good thing. I was on Coruscant at the time. It ended up not being a very pleasant welcome after the initial, hey, some of you are alive. Then everything sort of went downhill and off a walkway rather quickly. So, yeah, I haven't been back there since. I don't plan to return anytime soon. That is just all sorts of bad from top to bottom.
I read as much in my Centron deck because I hid as most like you struggled. I had the unfortunate task of hiding in plain sight and using my talents and somewhat connections to develop a persona as a fortune teller and a translator. So I got some street cred and so a little bit of wealth that is mostly just used for philanthropic purposes.
I tried that. It's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very bad at it to start with.
Meeting Corha and then inadvertently getting put into prison changed that to our current plight of working for Conrad Core on this vessel. And I don't think any of us really know what our exact position on the ship is or what perceived role our abilities are being best suited to.
That sounds about accurate.
We have a pilot. That's
Conrad vessel. Someone could fly it, and then somebody to fix it, and then it's throwing pasta at a wall. So you did fortune telling.
I haven't seen flying spaghetti monsters in this sector of the outer rim, so I'm not sure about that.
Pastafarians are not something to overestimate or underestimate. Underestimate.
What? I haven't seen their stats either in the database.
I'll get working on it later.
Oh, they're coming in as a species now. I'm making them up, the Pastafarians. Yeah.
Oh God.
But you did fortune telling. Did you have anything for being able to sort of see the past, the present?
Yes.
I have an item, and I do take out this broken lightsaber hilt, and I do hand it to you. This was the last thing, or the first thing I got a hold of after waking in the bowels of Coruscant.
Is it functioning?
It is not functioning very well. Repairs could be done to it, but out of respect, I haven't really tried. I don't have the talent for, what was it called? Psychometry, or anything more than trying to see at distances. And even this thing gave me a hit from it. And if there was a way to actually use any of that in a court of law, well, the options for that are already out the window. But if there was a way to try and use it, it would be pretty damning.
I will see what I can do.
So you take a hold of it?
Is that a straight up sense one, or is that a mix?
With the far sight, I believe it was
psychometry.
Psychometry?
I think postcognition would be the one to use for it.
Postcognition, probably.
Yeah, use the post.
Psychometry.
Well, psychometry is actually a separate power
Yeah, I was saying it
entirely.
wrong,
But let's use the post for right now.
It says it's under sense, but it's not coming out. That's weird. I have the Jedi book. The Tales of the Jedi book printed out, but I don't see the book. Anyway.
And when you take
Cognition
hold
is
of it,
just being able to see it. Psychometry is being able
it's
to
just
read
sense.
it off an object.
Yeah.
Yeah. But let's roll it for the postcognition for right now. Because with this item,
it has been a while, so it may be difficult. Have you been practiced in the art of, or the ability to calm yourself or concentrate?
No.
Okay.
Lay down, Kumiko.
We might need to work on that if you want.
Sure. No, yeah, definitely.
Shame on you.
I'm gonna have to show that in the Twitch somehow.
I honestly don't think this is gonna work. But there's I want to do the postcognition, but I kind of want to, because I have, this is player stuff. I have no idea what skills go into psychometry or whatever, which is always
That's fine.
Pretty awesome. But I'm thinking either throwing in possibly, if possible, drawing a little bit of receptive telepathy from this thing, maybe getting off some old attunement to its previous owner.
Okay.
I think you even left a crystal.
I don't know if that's going to give me a die or what that would do, or
give me a die roll for the postcog, as well as a separate roll for the the receptive.
All right, here's the postcognition, and that is a 14.
Okay.
And then with different dice. Woo! 9, 13.
Spelled wrong.
8,000.
19 for the receptive.
What was it, receptive? Sorry.
19.
19. Okay.
Woo.
You actually take a grip of it, and the skills being used, think of it this way. You're using these skills not to technically tap into it,
right,
but to try and control what you're actually experiencing. Because the moment you grab it and take it into your hand fully, you feel yourself completely shunted from reality into a different place. The dark offices of Chancellor Palpatine.
Okay.
You see Chancellor Palpatine in his chair at his desk, looking at a couple of terminals, looking at his holographic terminal and such like that.
He got a desk.
As you're walking, you are walking into the room. And the entire thing plays out as in the... Well, I prefer the book, but I can't really describe the book's version of this scene as well as the movie variation. But it is the confrontation between three Jedi Masters, one of which is Mace Windu, and...
Actually, 4.
Was it 4? You're right, 4!
Yeah.
Thank you. One of them, which is Mace Windu, and the Chancellor Palpatine, when he pulls his lightsaber out and begins to slaughter the other three Masters and have a nice little confrontation with Mace Windu.
Oh God, one of those Jedi was Kit Fisto.
Yep. Kit Fisto is one of them. You see Kit
As I look
Fisto.
around, As
You
I
s-
look around and
you-
see faces and races, what races do I see?
You see Kit Fistu. You see, well, pretty much, let me play it this way. The only face you do not see is Mace Windu. You get a glimpse of his lightsaber as you actually start drawing to defend yourself against this evil Sith Lord. You see the same lightsaber that you just grabbed from Resik,
All right,
except
so
it's in one
wait a second.
piece.
Mic drop.
Out of character, you're saying that he currently has, or she currently has in her hand, Mace Windu's lightsaber.
Yep.
Yeah.
The remnants of that lightsaber.
I want it. No.
Fortunately,
I want it.
Out of game, fortunately, when they found the lightsaber, it did not have a hand attached to it. But it was broken because it took a tumble down all the way from the Chancellor's office to the bowels of
No, we
Coruscant.
did repair it. Sorry.
You
Does
slightly
work.
repaired it. You slightly
He
repaired it.
survived. I fully believe that Mace Windu survived.
You actually go through the entire thing, through the entire scene. Now, the control you have literally with this scene, you have no control over it.
Right.
You're feeling, in a sense, you are feeling the same thing that Mace Windu does all the time.
Okay.
Mace Windu did have a problem with a balance between light and dark.
Uh-huh.
He actually did have a dark side to himself, which he tried to use completely more analytical as much as possible.
In order to use his means of his saber fighting style, you had to have a dark side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he struggled with it.
Walk up the fine line.
Yep. And he struggled with it, though. He wasn't one of those gray guys that had no problem. He struggled. You're struggling.
Because he wanted to be good.
You're struggling a lot. Mostly I'm putting it in there as you're failing to struggle because of the fact you rolled a 14 and a 19. So that's why I'm saying...
I'd like to say that if you want to say that Draz is shifting to the dark side a little bit, I'm gonna say that that's okay because boundaries were getting pushed last game session and she was about ready to do so.
No, I know. No, I'm not giving you any kind of points yet. Any kind of points are always like what you do.
Right. Yeah. If I outright kill somebody, yeah.
It's how you want to actually deal with it, is whether you go that direction or not. The scene continues, actually, even including to Anakin coming through the door. At which point you shift to, I'm going to say, fortunately you rolled a 19, so I'm going to shift you to Anakin.
Okay.
A little lower, and you would have been Chancellor Palpatine. And the next part of this would have been extremely bad. Because this is at the point when he's walking in, there's lightning going off, and he's throwing the Force lightning, and it's bouncing back at him. Anakin's on his way in. You see the two of them actually battling it out, and you play through pretty much the scene where he tries to stop Windu by pleading to him, kind of, in my opinion, really weakly, and then slicing the hand off, and that lightsaber that you're holding flies off out of the window into the night.
Windu goes after it.
And lightning again. Window goes a different direction. Windu, not window. My mouth is dry. Windu goes a different direction. Give me a control roll.
I like control.
Always a good thing to have.
11.
11? Unfortunately, it's lower than the rest of this stuff. It continues. The scene actually even continues all the way to the point where you yourself are now down on your knees looking up at the Emperor, or the soon-to-be Emperor, once he actually, your master.
What have I done?
You are now actually vowing fealty to this master of the dark arts.
And I believe that's also when he gives him his name.
Darth Vader. You are now one of the very only few people that have ever actually linked the old Jedi, Anakin Skywalker, hero of the Clone Wars, to the entity of Darth Vader, being that weird, breathy, black-clad, armored slaughterer of the innocent, whatever you want to describe him as, monster. I was hoping for a higher control roll, because then he wouldn't be put this far into it. Because at this point, on the other side, where Resik is just handing you a lightsaber, and you are now damn near frozen, on the other side of the coin, you start actually looking like you're in a bit of pain. Newt is the first one to react and kicks your arm and kicks the lightsaber out of your hand because you were not letting go.
Yeah.
It was along the lines of that.
Shoot.
11 on the control.
Yeah, I'll be the quick fall to catch myself with the, with the
You
right
are-
hand on
You
with a quick
you come down to the floor.
um
Your eyes open. When your eyes open, you see tendrils of vapor coming off your hands, like as if your skin was on fire for a few moments. You see it. Nobody else does. You're the only one.
Oh, okay.
And yeah,
I instinctively reach out for the lightsaber and draw it to me through telekinesis.
the
Yeah, the one.
the window.
Mace Windu's lightsaber?
The window one. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me the telekinetic roll. Actually, does anybody try to stop it?
I'll try to stop it.
Hang on. Hang
fall.
on.
Like I
Okay.
fall and I'm like,
There are people who wanted to stop it. I think I heard voices.
Yeah.
So
I'm not there.
I'd
I
love to,
can't.
but I'm in the cockpit, so
Corha doesn't want to know. Trust me, Corha, you don't want to know.
I'll definitely try to stop this.
Oh, awesome. That's just very easy. Oh, no,
What-
Was
Can
Resik?
I roll brawling to try to grab it before
Well-
it flies to her?
Well, let's do the initiative thing because pretty much it's going to be an initiative thing. What did Resik want to do anything?
Yep.
Okay.
Telekinesis it myself.
Okay. Give me roll the perceptions for the initiative.
6.
That's a shitty roll.
19.
17.
Okay, so I have Resik at 19, Draz at 17. What was below 17? What did you have?
6.
Naw-Tor? Okay, so I have Newt at 9. And
she didn't get 99. Wow,
Oh.
she's slipping.
Resik is the one with like the 4D in perception. At least I think. You know what? I don't remember anymore. Oh,
I got
that's the wrong
3D
one.
plus 1.
Oh, she has +2. That's still only 11.
So I still go last.
Yeah, you still go last, and Newt is still incapable of doing anything except for stopping it in the first place. Resik, you have the first action.
Telekinesis.
Okay.
When her hand goes up, my hand goes up. I don't know if it's
With the
tug of war or
difference of 2 points between the two initiative rolls, whatever your action is, it's going to move the lightsaber a little bit farther closer to you, but it will end up being a challenge between two different telekinetic rolls. So with the two of you, Resik and Draz, do me a favor and give me some telekinesis rolls.
Draw. Spend a force point. Spend a force point. Call upon the dark side.
I should, right?
23.
I gotta play the corrupting influence here.
Please, because it's hard for me to do it at this point. Besides, I have you.
Do I have a force point to spend there, Andrew? I want to say that I spent all of them.
I think you've spent all of yours.
you did spend them all.
Back though.
No.
No, you don't get them back unless you do something heroic.
Yeah.
Or unless the
No, as
GM
long as you
says
don't
do.
do something bad, you get it back. You just don't get
Basically,
another one on top of it.
No, remember, there was the force points, and then you had the harmony underneath that. The force points are expended. You expend them, and they're gone. If you get enough force points to get a harmony point, you have one harmony point that can be used every game session.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And it regenerates every game session. So it's basically a balance of taking care of and focusing to save them until you get that harmony. Then you can have one every game session to just toss around all you want, really.
Call upon the dark side.
Dark side points are always there, on the other hand.
Well, the first taste is free.
The first taste is free. And it tastes so good. I did this to Resik in every group.
Ask Joy, because her character in my game decided to gain
I don't think there's anything except the character point, just to add another die.
Okay.
So I got 3D right now. 3D plus 1. And I'm just gonna
let's just hope for the exploding die, right?
Yeah, draw upon what I know to be good and true, and the history of this evil event, and and the rage that it brings up inside me. And spend a dark side.
And you are spending the dark side point. Awesome.
No,
You're not? No, you can do it. You can
do it. Come on. You
can
said
do it.
she was slipping.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
That actually doubles what I have. Right?
I play a really
triple.
good corrupting influence.
Dark side triples.
Wait, why does it triple?
Dark side triples.
Because you're essentially getting a double force point. You're spending, you're calling upon, you're getting it, and then it's the lure of the dark side because of the power.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't think you add the dice. You just don't triple your roll.
Remember, Resik, I leave it to you guys if you want to triple the rolled number or if you want to just triple the die. Me personally,
Corha likes bad girls. That's why.
I like rolling more dice. So every time I double, like with a critical roll or a force point, I just roll more dice because I like hearing my dice roll around in my tray.
All right. So the bad news is I rolled 6 on the wild one. 20, 30, 37, 41.
I think she's won this one.
Yeah.
Unless Resik spent. Did Resik already roll?
Yeah.
Oh.
Resik did already roll.
All I did was establish the difficulty.
Yeah, pretty much. Except for the fact that if it was like 5 above yours, I might have said it went towards her a little bit. You might have had another round. She blew a dark side point and doubled your difficulty. It flies to her hand, and I'm just going to say it, you sense that dark side surge.
Yep, I know exactly what that feels like.
Let it ignite. Let it ignite.
It does not.
Would I?
That'd be awesome.
It does not ignite.
So, just for game terms, I see like both of their hands fly up, correct? I see Resik's and hers. Okay.
Both of them go out.
Serpentines.
It wavers a little bit at the beginning. It goes, yeah, and goes right back to Draz. It does. It's visible that it actually tried to go to Resik first.
Where am I By the way, am I like right next to Draz, or?
I would say you're about 10 feet away. Well, 10 feet away, or 4 meters or 2 meters. What is it? A couple meters away from him, because you're still in the
I'm in the
area.
vicinity.
You're in the
Close enough.
vicinity. At which point, okay, do you actually try to turn it on when you grab it? By the way,
No, but I would like to make a statement.
To make a what?
To make a statement or say something.
Oh yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead. You got time to do that during the same round. For 6 seconds, anyways.
My apologies, Master Resik, for taking this from you. But it's best that this is protected. Its history should not be known. I sacrificed myself to bear its secret.
That's entirely why I've had it.
When you know the secret?
I didn't get it as intense as you seem to have, but I know what happened in that room.
Do we know who Vader truly is?
Newt does
Yes.
move. Hang on one sec. Newt moves into us in just right behind Draz.
Please.
Like really close. And I don't want to ignore, because it was an initiative kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't want to ignore Naw-Tor. Did you have a plan? Were you going to do something, or are you going to now?
I'm gonna wait until this conversation finishes.
Okay. I kind of was hoping for that, to tell you the truth.
Dominic,
Go ahead. You two go ahead. I'm sorry. I just
me,
wanted to
Dominic?
make sure you knew where Newt was, and I wanted to make sure I didn't ignore Naw-Tor had an action and was about to act. So, go ahead.
So are we still having a conversation, me and Resik?
Yeah. Go ahead. You should.
Is this the part where I talk first? You talk first?
Yeah.
That's entirely why I've had it.
The whole math thing is just kind of makes it really.
I will gladly bequeath it back to you. If you wish to carry its burden. I'm burden free right now.
Not exactly.
Well, what do you know that I don't know? Go on, an angry voice.
There's
I
that
see work.
dark side thing.
Yeah, I see work that has to be done. Work I'm familiar with. You've
I come running
seen
from the
now
cockpit.
what has drawn them and basically this whole galaxy into this spiral that it's in. Apparently, you felt it. I just got to see it that time. Many year or two before I even got a hold of that, I got to experience my own little dip in willpower. I feel like I've gotten stronger due to that experience. I believe, if you trust me with this, and I trust myself with this, that I could help you become stronger. The first step is you're going to have to learn how to resist. It's going to feel like it's making you weaker, like it's making you less effective, and that you're putting yourself in danger. That's because it wants you to feel that way.
The dark side or the saber itself?
The dark side.
Because the saber is just a tool.
The saber is the last memory of a also troubled master who acted a little bit too impulsively at the last minute and paid for it. As well as, I mean, from what little I actually knew of him and the one time I met him and worked with him, a person who probably felt that as a good thing and something to be embraced and something to be just leaned into, and then just gave himself to it. The Chancellor, he was there like that for I don't even know how many years, right there on the same planet as the strongest, most noble and knowledgeable Jedi that we had. And they didn't see a thing. That's how insidious it could be, how much it could just sort of try and influence from under the radar. I have nothing to base it on, but the convenience of that war at that time when he was in a position to take power makes me suspicious. And from where I've been running around in the shadows, I've got no way of being able to verify or investigate any of that. I've been accused of paranoia before. But is it really paranoia when there is an entire government out to get you?
Mostly accusing was for me.
So Draz takes in all of this and looks down at the saber and states, "It's almost as if it itself has become a dark echo, a dark holocron of that time. She will kneel and offer it up to Master Rinzler in the memory of my master, who fell to the machinations of the Emperor and those of Anakin Skywalker, now Darth Vader. I seek only justice."
That makes sure that the entire crew.
Yeah, justice and what is it?
Not the other R word.
Justice and revenge. I wouldn't say revenge, but
redemption.
Yeah, redemption for her and the Jedi Order. And I hand you the saber.
I do take it.
So hang on one sec. Naw-Tor was there. Obviously Draz, obviously Resik, obviously Newt.
Corha walked off with the computer.
Corha still out, walked off with the computer. Siobhan was, you said you went to the cockpit? Okay.
She was in the bridge.
I said that I ran back because I felt all the dark side and force use and things.
You would have been there for that speech then. I'm just checking on who actually then hears about Anakin and Darth Vader, just checking on that. So cool.
Wait a minute, Master Skywalker is Darth Vader? And my eyes are about the size of dinner plates. Well, he did come into the temple.
I asked if you had access to the skills of concentration and calm.
No.
If we're gonna investigate that, or if you have any interest in looking at this further to see if there's anything that might have been missed, I am going to insist we learn those first.
It seems we have time on this voyage, so yes.
The first thing I learned, and the first thing I've taught to anybody I've tried to teach, is a concentration. After that, calm. I like to focus more on the control of oneself first. It does seem like you did have some skill in that already. Sense, we might start with that for you. It seems to be something you already have that you could build on.
I got a lot of sense.
I don't know from what you saw if it also carried you down to when myself and my friend found it as well. But he too succumbed to the dark side, but he didn't go with the Sith Order. He is a dark Jedi in the bowels of Coruscant, as far as I can tell, probably building up an army of scrapped droids.
I sigh heavily.
Yay, we're going to Coruscant.
I'm actually kind of surprised he went the whole working with droids route. He has a bad history with them. So
don't forget the other materials he was using.
Yes. Yes. Well,
I don't know if you wanted to let them in on that.
That's again at the very heart of the Empire in their biggest base of power. Even if unless the whole Jedi Order was still in its heyday, I don't think we could plan anything for that. Meanwhile, though, out here in the galaxy, there's a bunch of other things that can be done. At the moment, I don't know how many other Jedi have escaped the Purge. I didn't run into any when I was on Corha. That's probably the only place I would have expected to run into any. Out here, I know of 1 or 2 other people, but for thousands of years, the Sith were the ones in the shadows. Now it's turn. And we've just got to try and keep strong to the ideals of the Order while doing the best to mitigate what is actually going on. As for my part in this, I've been protecting. And as for teaching or training, I've had bad experience with that, with at least 2 people that ended horribly. And I feel I've learned from those mistakes. That's why I'm definitely going to be working with you.
Okay.
No more Mad Claw Wookiees.
Oh, it was a hollow mark moment there.
I'm gonna. I have to actually do it. Go ahead.
Looking for a holocron and then learning from a holocron. Then
I am gonna. I have to. I don't know if everybody read it or saw it. I have to cut it at 7:30ish, so because I have to take care of wifey anyways, and that's a really good scene right here. Unless there's more to finish on that.
Draz, did you see what happened to Master Fisto?
Oh yeah, she did. Saw his head roll across the desk.
Shut up.
You ain't there.
Well,
Stop cheating.
That's what happened.
Yeah, but you ain't there.
No, he got stabbed.
Yes, I don't think anybody got... Well, no, in the book, I think he actually lost the head, I believe.
Yeah, in the book, he got decapitated and his head rolled.
But I have to go...
Still smiling.
I have to go by the movie reference because really trying to describe some of the... I liked the nuance of the lightsaber really came out of the statue, not out of his sleeve.
Yeah.
I liked that better.
He pulled the lightsaber out of the statue first, hid it in his sleeve, and then they came in, and then he dropped it from a sheath on his sleeve.
No, I remember it actually going straight to the hand, but I like that part of it better. Instead of the whole, Wild Wild West, I have a quick draw thing up my sleeve. Look, it's movie Desperado. It's
screeching, spinning through the air in a straight line.
Yeah. So I have to cut out in a few minutes either way.
Yeah, I guess our segment would be Resik and Draz going into the cargo bay and doing some
you guys
training.
can actually work on that.
Siobhan's question.
And what's that, Siobhan?
Siobhan asked Draz what happened. Did he see what happened to Master Fisto?
Oh,
yes.
Would you share that, please?
Yeah, well, I share I share the scene and stuff, and unknown that you served because your character, because Joy, your character
paranoid about it.
Your character was a student of Fisto, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah.
So you do share the entire scene, though.
That,
you do share the entire scene, though, for it, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the Emperor killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. That's actually
and
good sharing.
Agad Kolar and Sasi Tillin and
And then learning after that if he was your master, I would say it's a good thing you didn't witness that.
Come on, you want to touch it too.
Well, she's being quiet about it. She is being somber. She did get very depressed as soon as you said that, and she also got very cold.
Draz is feeling the same way.
And I would leave. That's something where Resik might actually want to introduce and snag her aside as well, as to train a little bit because of that too. But
I go to my private stash and come back with 2 bottles of Mandalorian wine and set them in front of each of you.
Or if not Mandalorian stuff, that's hard to get.
I am a Mandalorian.
I know, but it's hard to find it. Even you have to actually go to Mandalore to get it.
If I crush grapes and ferment it, I'm a Mandalorian.
That's
it
true.
Is therefore Mandalorian.
That's true. If you can do it yourself, you're a cook. You should be able. I don't know how it works. Okay, I'm gonna cut it out there. Let's cut the stream. Should be doing in another 2 weeks without a problem. I don't think there's.
Sorry, I was late, everyone.
What's that?
Sorry, I was late.
No.
You got here for the perfect scene.
Yeah, you did. It's wonderful. I love it. So in 2 weeks, another one, same time and such like that. I don't know if I have to cut it short then and compare it like I do now, but either way, we'll figure it out. For those who watch now, watch later, thank you for watching, like, subscribe. I want 100 subscribers so I can get a custom URL. That's all I want.
Now we just have to handicap yourself until you lose that dark side point, and he'll trust you. Because you know that I don't trust a man who doesn't drink. It's like I don't trust somebody who hasn't pulled himself back.
Remember, Fred, remember when I was throwing around dark side points? What the other thing they were getting?
Yeah. A power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to happen, but it apparently was that intense and did that, so now I'm working with this.
Well, it was a low roll that I was really getting a kick out of that. So the act of the dark side point just to get the lightsaber was the thing to get the power. Do you remember the first power that was used, that was given?
Injure kill.
I thought it was. Okay. Just to let you know there, Draz, you now know to injure kill.
Okay.
Whether you use it or not completely is depending on, and how you use it is completely depending on you. I will iterate this even for the stream and the recording. I don't believe injure kill should automatically be a dark side point. If you pay attention to the original Clone Wars cartoons, which were like 10-minute bits, Windu himself used injure kill when he was punching a weird plunger machine that was destroying the army.
That was Shatterpoint, I think.
Whatever.
No,
in the original cartoon, there was the big thing that was just.
I remember, but that was Shatterpoint.
But he blew away. He blew away an entire field and stuff like that. I'm just using it as an example because I don't believe injure kill should be a dark side skill, because what if you're the T1, T2, you're the Terminator and you want to punch through a windshield? Your piddly little strength ain't going to do it, but if you use injure kill, you can get through it to grab the dude so that you can yank him out of the car and get the little girl to safety. Mm-hmm. So I still believe in what you're doing with it is what should give it the dark side point.
Injure killing somebody's face in, that's
dark side point. Force lightning, I haven't found a real light side use for that. So
not to mention you have to use a dark side point just to supposed to have a dark side point even for you to be able to pull that from.
Oh, believe me, I'll have one.
Kyle Katarn uses Force Lightning all the time.
Yeah.
Just to let you know.
Which one?
Yeah, but
the Palpatine?
That's the video game.
Kyle Katarn.
Oh, Kyle Katarn?
That's in the video game.
Yeah, it's in the video game, and Kyle Katarn is dark. I don't care what they say. He's dark.
Luke used Force choke on the Gamorreans and
yes, he did.
That was Shatterpoint.
Yeah, Shatterpoint is where you could see the stress points in the Force, and you could deal critical damage just by basically punching it and shoving Force into it.
Yeah. So, for those watching, I bid you adieu. And see you in a couple weeks. And hopefully I can make it to Fred's game. I don't know if I can. But later.